You are tuned to Channel 90 WMK TV, Palmetto Valley, Royale, Valhallaburg, Pacifica City.
All right, we are back. We are back. We are back. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank you all so much for that. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I know everybody's been I know it's been a week, hasn't it? You know what? We're back. That's all that matters. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. My name is Makini 90, artist, German illustrator. You are tuned to WMK TV, channel 90 here in Pacific City. Welcome to, of course, the return of the greatest Sunday afternoon art show on YouTube. Makini Live. Of course, we got an action-packed show for y'all today. We got a special guest rolling in with us into the studio. We'll bring him out shortly. But before us, let's give us a warm returning welcome to, of course, our co-hosts, Bruce Lombardo and Mads Mulder. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Mads looking sharp.
Studios, man. Oh, there she is. There she is. There's Little Bear.
Firing girl boss.
There we go. Can we get a round of applause for Little Bear right there? Little Bear there.
Cutie Pie always sneaks in on me.
Little sneaking into the studio there. I see that. Oh, how y'all doing? How you guys doing? Oh, they're still cheering. Anyway. Oh, how are y'all doing today? How y'all doing? Y'all feels good to be back?
Feels good to be back, yeah.
How was your Mother's Day weekend, by the way?
It was actually really good. Little one arranged to have a family brunch thing.
Aww.
You know, kind of a potluck brunch. It was so cute. They got me a charmed aroma candle, like a MamaBear charmed aroma candle, and the thing is huge. It's probably going to wind up being my new water pot for watercolors because
that's beautiful.
This is like Starbucks, like Venti Trenta size.
Really? No,
I love my coffee, but you know that would be a lot of coffee.
That is a lot of coffee. That would be a lot of coffee. So, Bruce, how about you, man? I know have you been enjoying that week off?
Had a great Mother's Day with mom and dad. Did a FaceTime video for over 2.5 hours, which by the end of that they were done. Nobody was watching us, you know. It was just the three of us on camera with each other. And mom's like, "I'm getting tired." I'm like, "Yeah, it's like 2 PM and you're sundowners. I get it." And they just kind of gave me that look, like, "Shut up, son." So I realized, okay.
That's great, I didn't. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't able to celebrate Mother's Day.
Oh wow!
They were in Europe. It's a birthday in Europe, you know.
Wait,
I can respect that.
You didn't tell us that this was going on. We would have just drove to California.
I would have loved. You know what? Someday we should do that. Do a Makini live from like Milan or like Tuscany, Italy, or something like that. You know, wouldn't that be a show? Wouldn't that be a hell of a show? I was doing a drawing stream with like a view of Tuscany in the background, you know.
Any coastal cities where my ships were at back in the 90s. I don't want to have any like surprises like, remember my mother?
Exactly. Or from Switzerland. Or Denmark. I'm just like, anyway, but no, hope you guys had a great Mother's Day weekend. Hope everybody had a great Mother's Day weekend. We decided that, you know what, in the spirit of Mother's Day, we'll not have a show, and because here we believe in equality and not equity, we're gonna do the same for Father's Day. We're gonna take a Sunday off for Father's Day as well, because I figured that'd be fair on both sides. So anyway, but we cannot keep our guests too long here. I know guests has been really ready, wiggering, airing to show up. He's been hyped. I was seeing his face. He was like very excited for the way we did our introductions studio. He's just absolutely excited, ready to go. So guys, do me a huge favor. Give a huge CSF Nation welcome to the one, the only, of based reality himself, Roger Athay. Do you have anything to say? Nothing to say, Ryan? Nothing?
I'm waiting for everyone to stop clapping.
Well, you can still say something while clapping.
I want to be like Johnny Depp and wait 7 minutes.
Wait for that standing ovation. This isn't a Cannes Film Festival. Come on now.
Well, it's great to be here with Martini drawers. I have to emphasize that.
Okay, what is with the Martini? No, I don't understand that.
There's no R in your name.
Is this part because of art? It's like, I don't get it. Sorry, I don't get it.
Well, hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Roger Athay. I am the host and founder of RealityBased, and it's great to be here with all of you wonderful people, from Makini Drawers to Bruce Lombardo of the Dix Division, and a lovely ladies here too, and that's great.
He came from his reality all the way to our reality, so don't worry. He said the flight accommodations were absolutely lovely, as well as the guest accommodations. So we put our guests in a very nice suite. It's actually, I'll just put this that way, Anyway, we'll have some more detail at the end of the show.
Disrespect to get that access to where we could have him go to the training facility. He's got that $40 million training facility in between.
Yeah, but that's not in our country though. But that's not in our jurisdiction. You know how far that is from us, man.
Firm handshakes all around.
Okay, fine. Okay. We'll accommodate that. Anyway, good to see y'all, everybody. Hope you guys are having an excellent weekend, excellent start to your week, or the excellent end to your week. For me, Sundays will always be the start of the week. For some, it's always usually the end of the week for them. So I'm glad, regardless. I'm glad you guys are able to spend your Sunday afternoon with us, and we're glad to do the same with y'all. So before we get to the chat, which is going to start blowing up real soon, let me go ahead and just share what I have on screen. This one I just kind of threw together before. This one I just kind of threw together, at the time, threw together before we went live, an hour before we went live. So just share my screen here, and 3, 2, 1, and oh yeah, that's something working.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll explain it later, but I got some ideas, and I'm just kind of throwing this together. I like I said, it's like I recorded this, and it's like been an hour so far. So I just threw this together real quickly. So we'll see how it goes.
Minus the Avenger style horn coming out of the side of her head.
It's an Omni. It's an Oni. She's an Oni. Okay.
I was thinking you were doing like a modern-esque version of Gem and the Holograms, which I was kind of okay with.
Okay.
Oh, that's probably something I'll tackle eventually myself.
Oh, that's more into Mama Bear territory right there. So, all right. Anyway,
I love
guys,
that show.
You and me both, hon.
Did you love the 2015 live action adaptation?
That one is right up there with some other movies we don't.
It's so bad. It is so bad.
Me and Janet will have to review it one of these days. Whenever I want to.
How the hell do you do that? How the hell do you do Gem and the Holograms without the Misfits?
It's a brilliant. I highly advise you guys watch the 2015 live adaptation of Gem and the Holograms, and I would highly advise you to watch the review done by Corey Coleman and Martin Thomas of Double Toasted back in the day, because that was an absolute dumpster fire I've ever seen one. Anyway, guys, thank y'all so much for being here.
In really good between Street Fighter 1994 and Masters of the Universe 1986, because I'm looking for 3 bad movies to watch all at once before I commit suicide.
Oh gosh,
I don't know if holograms would be enough. Come on now.
I literally
how American of
did
you.
a 6-hour stream yesterday.
How American of you.
Come on.
How American of you.
You're not the first, and you won't be the last British person we've had in the studio. We'll fly away from
that was the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Okay, let's get into that before it gets awkward. Anyway, guys, thank y'all everybody for being here. If you guys can, please just show some huge love to Roger Athay, who just came into the studio, is absolutely loving it so far. Send a big guys, please step on that like button, share the stream out. If you guys are brand new here, hit that subscribe button. We're gaining some momentum, so we are working our way towards 2K before the end of the summer. And if you guys want to support me further and what I do and get access to exclusive art that you're not going to find anywhere else, join the channel for as low as $1 a month. You join CSF Nation today. We are 50 55. I think we're 54, 55 strong now. Thanks to that birthday show.
We need more. We need more racks.
We
like
need more.
that.
If you guys want to get exclusive art, and by the way, to my channel members, I got some goodies to show y'all at the end of the stream. So stay tuned. And who knows, we might entice Ryan to become a CSF Nation member by the end of the stream. We'll see if we can make that happen. That's a little side mission there for me. I'll see if I can.
Well, I'll have to go to town first to get a Google card. So then pay for membership.
I tried. Well, mission failed. I tried. Anyway, I'm not gonna.
Poor, you see.
I know. I'm joking. Y'all don't have to. You guys support. Y'all support is enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, first up, I do want to address something. Yes, Chris Persia has become a member. He has already announced that I think on the Monday morning show. Because he what happened was I had this stream set up for last Sunday, but because we took that Sunday off, it just popped up early. So Chris is already, so thank you, Chris, again for being a member at the ambassador level. So he gets access to pretty much all the goodies each month's art badge. So you get to see that now. So let's go ahead and say hi to everybody here. So let's go ahead. Power 700, the first person to show up on the stream is Power. Good to see Power. Usually it's a fight between Mads, Power, Eli, possibly Grumpy, and a Polynese minion. They usually kind of fight to see who gets the first comment on the Sunday shows. And of course,
Power's pretty quick in a lot of chats I've seen. So I will absolutely.
We got some competition here. Who's gonna be the first comment? Y'all need to start commenting before the show goes even live, before like a day before the show goes live. So if you want to get your interest first. And of course, we got another of our CSF Nation ambassador, Eli. Good to see Eli. Good former Elias Jordan's good to see you. My friend, of course, our Stream Elements bot is up and running. He's up backstage, working with our production team backstage as well. They're all just really getting the work done. So it's good to see everybody backstage is really happy to be back in the studio working with us. Some of the people who produce who work on the show Makini, who work on this show, also work on the morning show as well. So you get to see a bit. You'll probably see some familiar faces back there too. So, but they are very happy to be here. They're all
a quick note about that Stream Elements. If you like Makini and you want him to receive something that you've given, and you don't want somebody else to take a huge cut out of it, and this goes for any creator that uses Stream Elements, I will recommend that you follow the link that Stream Elements gives you and do that, because they will receive more of your love. It won't go to a company that doesn't really like what Makini says. And I would recommend you give it to Stream Elements, because they take a very small portion of it for their operating cost. Whereas a large multinational big corp that's in bed with the U.S. government and other unsavory characters, they take a huge chunk of of what you're giving. They take a huge third of that out of what he gets. Then he gets to pay taxes. So if you like Makini a lot, follow Stream Elements. I'm not trying to tell you.
You can tip to the Stream Elements tip jar if you don't feel comfortable doing it on YouTube. That's totally fine. I will look into maybe setting up a subscribe star down the line, so that way it'll be another outlet you guys can support me, because hey, YouTube likes to be YouTube, and I know that YouTube they do some stuff behind the scenes, and they throttle a lot of people. So y'all
I've been at 1,080 subscribers for 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So all right. So no. So basically, Ryan is the biggest channel on our in the group right now. Ryan gets the honor distinction to have the biggest, being the bigger than all three of us.
He is the big fish here, yes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm at 1.3. You're at 1.5.
That's because I literally throw everything. I literally throw everything and the kitchen sink at my channel.
Not only that, not only your kitchen sink. Not only your kitchen sink, but your neighbor's kitchen sink, and also every other kitchen sink in your block.
Yep.
I saw something this week.
Makini or Markini is far more talented than me, and yet he's criminally underrated. The same with Bruce, and the same with the lovely lady whose name I
By the way, our mods will be putting all the links to Roger Athay's link, specifically his YouTube channel. He's all around probably more busier than we are, so we're happy to be able to get him on the time doing so. And I assume by next. Oh wait. Oh, I'm gonna have to talk to you. Ryan. We have to reschedule because I know you want to return the favor. we'll talk about it after the show's over. We'll talk about it. All right. So we got Rocky the Black Dragon. Rocky's a recent face that I've seen this week. It's good to see you, Rocky. Very welcome. He says, everyone heard about GTA 6? Yes, it's coming out in 2020. Yeah, they're saying fiscal year 2025 or so. Guess what? These fake journalists, fake influencers, fake critics, gamers want to infect it with it. It is what it is. banditobane, another CSF Nation member. Bandito, good to see you, my friend. I'm going to have to reach out to you as well because we may have to reschedule because we got a lot of rescheduling to do, apparently. Next Sunday.
One of the great foes.
What you got? I just love it. Kenzo, another one of our channel members, and somebody who has been blowing the hell up. Kenzo was on, if I'm correct, Kenzo was on the Side Scroller podcast with Stuttering Craig, formerly of Screw It. If you guys know Stuttering Craig, formerly of Screw Attack fame. That's early internet days right there. But Stuttering Craig is a huge channel. He got to be on the Side Scrollers podcast, which is freaking awesome. Kenzo is blowing up like crazy because he's been doing work. He's the animator for the Full Aussie. That is, of course, Ryan. As of course, Raging Rhino, Lethal Lightning, the entire crew, staff, My Nerdy Home. Yeah, Lyndon as well. They are really great guys. They're really great team in there. He's their official animator. So he's really good stuff. If you guys have not subscribed to Kenzo, check his stuff out. He's an amazing animator. And who knows? Maybe someday we could get him to animate something for Makini Live. That could be fun. Oh my gosh. All right. And then we got a new face here, Joe's Atmosphere. Yeah, two of my favorite streamers together. Thank you, Joes. And I know Ryan appreciates that as well. And Kenzo says the sexiest British beard of a man. You exactly.
Oh, Kenzo, you're too kind. I must connect you with fellow British creators. All hang together.
Okay. I'm led to believe that I do have a huge Canadian audience. I want to try to expand that over to over to the UK. I would say we've had a couple of Brits show up, pop in our shows before. I'm wondering if we could build a.
Well, then you need to start having coffee being a more frequent focus of your stream.
I can't drink coffee, but I can do tea. I can meet them halfway.
That is the drink of the UK, my friend. So if you can drink tea,
what's the best avenue? What's the best venue for us to host if we do a UK edition of Makini?
Do it on their time schedule.
The best venue.
Well, it's best to do it, in my view, right in the heart of UK time, which is about when the show starts. It's what time is it now?
It's
about 7:30 in the evening.
Okay.
So this is a good time to start the show, and I'd happily recommend a few UK creators your way. The one that springs to mind the most would have to be Commie Mark.
Okay.
I know the name of him sounds a bit
scary, scary,
but he is a fine man and a comic creator as well.
Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. Sounds like my cut of Valley. All right. Let's look into that. All right. So we got to say hi to, of course, a longtime supporter of this channel and of many other channels. And of course, Ryan knows her all too well, ladies and gentlemen. The lovely Tina Bojan. Tina, good to see you, sweetheart. Tina, who actually pops in on author Stephen Walton's streams for the Rogue Entertainment. Maybe someday we can get Tina on Makini Live at some point. Kind of Special little fan appreciation there.
Lovely lady.
And she says hello to Ryan.
I may have to put
Great
out a
Tina's
form
an
letter to Miss
amazing
Tina.
supporter.
Great mother, too.
She is an absolute lovely mother. Tina, I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day last week. Okay, of course, we do have, of course, our main CSF Nation ambassador, Grumpy old Ninja Kentaro. Grumpy is very special to all of us because, you know, he's one of our biggest supporters, and he's actually one of the original pioneers to coin the term CSF Nation. He's one of the people to coin that. We took it, ran with it, and look at us now. And of course, we have another lovely person in our wonderful Riot Kitty, who is an artist in her own right, Riot Kitty, who deserves more appreciation than she already does, and she needs more time to do YouTube because she needs to be on
very
stream
young,
more.
very talented.
And
She'll
she's got work.
outlive all
She's
of
got to
us.
work. So but she tries to lurk. She lurks as much as she can. Right, Kitty? I appreciate you showing up no matter what. And all I can say is if you dip out, make sure you watch the replay of this, especially at the end. Little wink to you. Little wink to you. Of course, thank you. Of course, Grumpy's doing a whole lot. And hail to everybody in the chat. Of course, Lucky Nako is another longtime follower of mine. In fact, Lucky Nako, for those who don't know, he is a follower all the way back from my Instagram days.
Oh,
It's good to see that people who it's good to see that some of the people who follow me on Instagram while I used to have that found me over here. So I'm grateful for that. So Lucky, thank you for just following me everywhere you go. I know a lot of people here, Grumpy as well. I think he found me on Instagram first before he followed me over here on YouTube. So he's another longtime fan. So long time. So and thank you. Everybody's here. Yes, Tina says She-Hulk smashed that like button in the proper She-Hulk. Exactly. And of course we have to say hello to our favorite, one of the most adorable people I could ever have on this channel, and possibly hiding behind me is Squeeka. Squeeka is too much of a sweetheart, and I joke the fact that she's probably hiding behind my chair right now. That she's probably in my room somewhere. She's not. But Squeeka is absolutely adorable, and she is too precious for all of us here. She deserves so much love, and she needs to start a channel. I still think that she needs to start her own channel. She will become an overnight sensation just like that.
I think she should do calendars.
Yes, exactly.
She's cute. I'm just going to say she's cute.
And thank you, Matt. Thank you guys so much. Hey, Squeeka. And yeah, we're the working club. Exactly. We got the Squeeka. We got the kitty. Exactly. I got Mark's Gent. Awesome.
Women work?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And I've had my share of plenty of women plenty of women have made it to this show. And they have nothing but great things to say about this show. So we appeal to Ryan. In my line of work, you realize you develop a female fan base somehow.
Well, I better get into drawing attractive women then, because we need all the women we can get, folks.
Exactly.
And real women.
So many amazing women. There's so many amazing women in our spaces anyway. So, all right. So
it's those not safe for Twitter hands, Maki. You just can't resist them.
Well, I don't have my camera out anymore, so you can't do anything to me this time. So
I'm certainly going to try.
Oh yeah, you're going to try, but you can't see it because
it's not going to stop me.
I know, just like last night when my OBS wasn't going to stop me. Okay, so I was playing the Street Fighter 6 open beta, and it just shut off at least 3 or 4 times. So I had to adjust my settings. Sure, half a female's appearance. Yeah, exactly right. You're absolutely right. And I am very proud of that. Anyway, but before we really get into Ryan, everything, I want to. We do have some sad news, unfortunately. We need to. Unfortunately, an entity, something has passed. Sadly, they announced it this. We heard the news this week. I think it was around Thursday or so, and it's really sad thing to see. So my heart goes out to everybody there. So if you guys can we all grant a moment of silence for the beautifully beloved Star Wars Galaxy Star Cruiser Hotel? Can we get a moment of silence, please?
And nothing of value was lost.
Oh, would this be a better one?
Oh no. Anyway.
Oh no. Anyway,
Can we get F's in the chat for that dreaded hotel, please?
Mhm.
Can we get F's in the chat, please?
$5,000 to live in a glorified submarine for a few
Basically.
days.
It's the Titanic of our generation. Oh, Disney never changed. Oh, Disney never changed, do you?
they are doing such a good job of providing me with reasons to eat popcorn.
It's crazy, man. There's been some Disney shenanigans this week that I want to get into, because it's just like an ongoing train wreck. It's an absolute train wreck, but we'll get into that later. And
wait. Riot Kitty says the employees of the of the hotel, they were told via social media that it was closing.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine?
Wow!
Could you imagine waking up and seeing, like, I wonder what's on Facebook before I get out of bed? And then, like, you have 3 or 4 messages from your friends like, oh my God, did you read the news? What news? I just woke up. Read the news about your job. What?
Wow.
Man. Par for the course.
I'm pretty sure there's regulations against that.
I assume
There's not, because there's people that get fired via text.
Wow.
That is.
How American. Usually they give us a week or two notice.
How American, yeah, it is. I mean, wow, Disney. I mean, that's a certified. Yeah, I've seen dick moves before, but this takes the cake. I did not notice. I did not know that. I probably need to check in on a recent Clownfish TV video about that, because holy cats.
And that's what Drunk 3PO just reported. They had no warning about this.
Wow.
Good God.
Just wow. I don't know, Ryan. I smell a potential lawsuit involved.
Well,
At
it's
least a
Disney,
couple.
so it's well deserved.
Yeah, I smell a couple of lawsuits that's on the horizon, or at least a civil suit, because Jesus Christ, it's not like they're already in bribe. Oh my God. Oh, Ryan, that sucks. Can you first, Matt, can you highlight Tina's comment first and then highlight Riot's afterwards?
Yep.
26,000 people were fired via voicemail from Arthur Anderson when the Enron scandal happened. Shit.
Oh my God.
And then Riot Kitty was saying, I was fired once via my father, who was a regular customer, and the manager just told him that I was fired instead of me. Yes, they had the contact info just so they even bothered to send me a text. Dude, that's effed up. I'd be pissed. I'd be royally pissed. Riot, that's messed up.
You guys need trade unions.
right?
Well, yeah.
I've pulled up a video, a live feed now.
Oh god. What does it look like? Yeah. That's pretty much summarizes what's going on right now. Disney.
Is that Chicago?
No, I think that's Disneyland. Either or. Can't tell the difference.
At this point, I don't think you can tell the difference anymore between one place and another.
Exactly. I just said that. Just this is insane. This is insane on every single level. Like, holy hell, Disney.
I got to clean up. Anybody have any soap?
Let's not go there yet. Come on now. Come on, Bruce. That's a horrible segue.
Not enough people have died of obesity yet for us to make more soap.
Listen, Bruce. Right, no offense, but bruh, it's a little below the belt, don't you think?
I've been watching Weird Food Channel all day, and like 90% of that channel is all about the history of what McDonald's made next.
Yeah, okay.
Inspired by the Big Boy, they made the Big Mac.
Okay then. Anyway, that's not an this channel is not an endorsement for McDonald's.
No. Whataburger
I
made,
just like
not
that
McDonald's.
Makini is zooming on the boobs.
I'm doing the colors right now. Shush. Okay, I'm kidding. I give them what they want, Ryan. I give them what they want, even though they don't realize.
I just thought you were zooming in on booby.
No, I'm zooming in to do the coloring right now. I'm zooming into the coloring right now. See? Oh my gosh. Wait, we'll get into the Disney dumpster fire later. Mm-hmm. But let's talk with our esteemed guest of honor here, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan. First up, tell me a little about you. We probably have overlaying audiences. So, but you want to tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself, what you kind of do on your channel and such like that. Kind of from here.
Well, I speak my mind about topics and people that I find interesting, and as a result, over the last how many months has it been? 19, 20 months of my second run on YouTube. I've gone from place to place. I've roamed from town to town, as it were, and I've met all of these wonderful people throughout my travels, including Makini and Bruce Lombardo of the Dix Division and all the other great Dix Division folks, as well as MamaBear. Hopefully I can find Papa Bear as well. Hopefully he doesn't eat me. I'm like Goldilocks.
Yeah, there is no Papa Bear.
It's just Mama and Little Bear. This is Mama and Little Bear.
Oh no. But I like to just take suggestions from blooper. We also have bloopers. I like taking suggestions from viewers. That's why we have suggestion videos. I also showcase fellow creators who I believe will go far as rising stars. I have my own show, which is reality-based. We go through the origins and happenings of fellow creators. Hopefully, we will be able to do that for Makini and who knows, Bruce as well, and MamaBear.
You did one of those on me last year, right?
He did one on me as well.
Right before I hit like this big swing.
Yep.
And that was, you took me, that started the inertia, and I went from like 400 subscribers, 12 years at the time on YouTube, 400 subscribers, and I went up to 960.
And that was I think when you featured me and you did a segment on me, because I remember that it was at the time. I think I was on the run to 900. I think I was at 900. We just hit like 900 on like July 4th. I can't remember. It was around that time. And then of course, like 2 weeks later, we just shot up through the stratosphere and hit 1K. So you might have that effect. I don't know, man. Ryan, you might have that effect on
Well, we like showcasing up and comers as rising stars, and if they want, they can be on reality based as well, so we can pool our audiences, so to speak, so that we can all hang together instead of being hang separately, as it were.
I'm just saying, Ryan, you might have a power, you might have a talent there, you know. Do a rising star on a channel that ends up blowing up.
Then I can go on their show and pull their audience too.
Yeah, you have a successful. You have. I'm just saying, you might have a successful hit rate when it comes to that.
But I've had a great time so far, and hopefully I can keep on going. And fingers crossed, I can keep on growing as well. But
absolutely, and I know you're already. It's not just what you do. You're also a part of other different channels as well.
Oh yeah, of course. That's why I have a Me on Other Shows playlist. I've been a guest for Loki's Mornings of Mischief.
Yep, Loki's Mornings of Mischief. You did the entire Picard review.
Yes, yeah. it was torture, but we got through it.
Well, that depends, because everybody was so mixed on this season that the discussions were very interesting.
Oh yeah. I called it peak New Trek, but it didn't mean it was Star Trek. So I kind of had a foot in both camps.
That sounds like New Coke.
Big New Coke.
This New Coke is going to be better than the classic Coke, which has been Coke for decades.
You could say that. You could definitely say that, Bruce. And I think that this is kind of the sense here that, it was definitely the case. Like, because you've been on Loki's show more than once. You've been on Loki's show many times.
Good handful of times at least.
So that's kind of where we all kind of join in together. Of course, the other people like 24, like Arwen, of course, who is basically a regular guest on this show and has had a hand in some of the best shows that we've had. Were with her on, and then of course, like I said, 24, Project Storytime. We get so many people on, so many people that you've interacted with, and it's kind of we're all in that same. We're all cut from that same. We're all cut from the same cloth. We're all I wouldn't say cut from. Oh yeah, but we're all in the same circles. We're all in the same kind of barbecue, same kind of lunch table.
Yeah, I'm the person who tries to fuse barbecues together.
Right. And you have those. You definitely have those, and you're definitely one of those who tries to bring in, multiple worlds, worlds together, multiple realities together, if you will. You try to be kind of the bridge to multiple realities,
Yep.
But your channel's like you took off in a big. I remember your channel took off in a big way, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, the start of the second run, which was on October the 28th, 2021. So it's
that was about a year after I started.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago. I had 37 subscribers.
Right.
And we took off mainly for the first time around. It was because of Tyrone Magnus. He shared my thoughts on him. And he also shared my thoughts, thanking him for sharing my thoughts. So that was very nice. And that got me into about 270. And from there, I am where I am today. I
took that momentum. You took that as momentum, and you took off. You use that as a launching point.
Yeah.
And
I think it's because someone raised me up, as it were. I tried to do the same through Rising Star
for others. Yeah, and that was, I was so surprised when you did that on me, when you did the Rising Star video. Well, for me, I was so surprised by that. I did not expect it at all.
No one does. And we've made 400 of them.
Wow.
We recently made Rising Stars episode 400. It was Shamu, a great channel that covers the community known as the Kino. Now that's quite the minefield if you step into the Kino, but you can have plenty of great laughs there, so long as you ride the rapids, so to speak. But yes, we've had 400 rising stars, and I've got another 12 written down here. So
goodness, that's insane, man. I am completely overwhelmed by that. It's like you've really been this promotional.
Well, I've made over 600 suggestion videos in a year and a half as well. So,
guys, this is the channel you want to get to. You want to get featured on if you really want to grow on this platform or on any platform. That's I think we need. I think that it's not just in whatever communities that we are in, but I think in general we need the kind of promoters like you, Ryan. When you think about that, we do.
Well, you've just guaranteed yourself a place on RealityBased for the next 20 years.
No, I mean, what I'm saying is that we need kingmakers like you.
It's just about bringing people together, because it's the establishment versus the alliance of alternatives, which is us. We're all brought together because the establishment has failed us in one way, shape, or form. I think in Makini's case, it's the destruction of the artwork of the day and how he seeks to make artwork great again. And the same with Bruce Lombardo, all of the great figurines that he draws. I mean, tabletop gaming is going to hell in a handbasket recently.
Yes, it has.
And that's how the alliance of alternatives has come to be, because the establishment has failed us, and I don't really have any particular talent except for taking people's suggestions, making them videos, and showcasing others as rising stars.
Mr. Ryan, I'm going to beg to differ with your statement, your critique on yourself. Ed Sullivan never displayed any of the things he did particularly well on his program, except for introducing people to an audience. And that man,
I think that's your biggest strength there, Ryan, is the fact that you're introducing people to different groups, to different audiences, to introduce them, not just exposure, but introducing them to different parts of this platform, different parts of this, this space that they get invested in, that they'll get immersed in.
And I'm amazed that no one else is doing this.
In that sense, Ryan, you're a pioneer, when you think about it.
I don't know anybody else that does what you do.
You're a pioneer in that. And
I find that unbelievable. I mean, there are people who do suggestion videos every now and again. I see the quartering asking people, what do you want him, or what do you want me to talk about on Twitter? But I just take them one at a time from the YouTube comments section, because suggestions are always welcome there. Rising stars, I'm amazed no one else has done them, but hopefully I can inspire others to do what I do, because there are tens, if not hundreds of millions of creators out there.
Right.
I think it's in the tens of millions, 50 to 60 million last time I checked. So there's plenty of ocean out there to chart, as it were.
Right. So this is something to think about, It's definitely something to think about.
I can't wait to reach Rising Star 1000.
So many people, though. It'll be insane. I think a lot of people will probably owe it to you,
Oh, definitely.
Well, I actually live in a place that has about 5,000 people. So if I make 5,000 rising stars, that'll take quite a while, folks. But if I ever get to 5,000, it's like I could literally
you'll basically become the promoting channel for everybody else. I think that,
the showcaser, the highlighter.
Yeah, just like, I think we need that. I think we need that, and there'll be a way to help. That's how you help each other. That's how you help so many people. Myself.
That's why I dabble in everything, Makini, whether it's artwork, whether it's popular culture, whether it's the Kino zone, whether it's the Hypno zone with the iconic Hypnotic. Nothing's off limits for me to to talk about
No,
because
that's a good. That's a
first run failed, my good man, is because I ran out of things to talk about.
So let me. That's a good question. I think that's a good question when continuing to. How did you get started? Not only just kind of getting started on YouTube with your first channel, but also how did you get involved with people like us, people like Loki, a lot of probably the big names that we probably follow, such as like FNT and such like that. How did you get kind of involved in?
Well, the first time I became an active viewer would have to go all the way back to the late stages of Gamergate.
Okay now. Okay.
I looked exactly the same, and I was 16 years old.
Now, to be fair, for some people, it's still alive and well.
But I really got
engrossed
in viewing with Nerdrotic, with Geeks and Gamers, with the future ruler of Earth himself, Dictor Van Doomcock, and around early 2018. And Harvey Cthulhu. All those great channels around early 2018. And
so about the same time. So about the same time, I was involved, basically.
I was more of a lurker, though, because I was a very shy person. But slowly and surely, I gained the confidence more and more to speak my mind. That led to the first run, where I made about 75 videos over the course of 4 months. And I went from 3 subscribers to 37, and then I gave up. But the one thing that inspired me to get back into it, it was the anthem. It was the anthem to Friday Night Tights, courtesy of Dan Vask. Yes,
Dan Vask.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And that gave me the encouragement. Yeah,
that was kind of the funny. That was kind of funny thing. So 2 weeks ago, we had the birthday stream, and I was promoting the hell out of it. And I remember one notification on Twitter. I forgot who promoted it. Somebody promoted the birthday stream, and somebody in the comments said, "Wait, Makini draws is the guy who used to super chat a lot on World Class Bullshitters Jeff's channel." That Makini, he has a channel now. Oh wow! I was like, yeah, it's we. So I was more of a super chatter than a lurker because my kind of start was 2018 at the same time. It was funny because it was Ava DuVernay's A Wrinkle in Time is what got me to discover Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers, and then I was a big follower of the OG High Council, which was Jeff of World Class Bullshitters, Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers, and Ethan Van Sciver, of course. The old CG stuff.
It was great while it lasted, Marquis.
It was. It
really was.
It had a lot of great memories there. A lot of great memories, a lot of great super chats there. That was for me, seeing FNT. Seeing FNT was almost basically like a successor to that. To kind of like me triggers those kind of old memories of watching the High Council on Tuesday nights. Now I switch over to Fridays, and when it's with somebody, and it's with a group of people that I began following for a very long time. I've always talked about how Gary of Nerdrotic, he was the only person out of this whole, I guess you could say, the original Phantom Menace, who was actually close to where I was living at, because he lived in San Francisco. I'm in the Bay Area. And of course, until I discovered Wes Moody, a Wes Moody webcast who lives in Sacramento, and of course Bandito, if I'm correct, Bandito is close down to San Jose. So there was definitely a good amount of people within kind of their group here from California, and specifically from the Bay Area where I'm at right now. So it's
for
really,
you.
Don't get started. Come on.
For you living in California.
It's a long story. But it's so amazing to kind of see those beginnings, to kind of see where it all came to be, where all of this came to pass, because we all because we all follow the same people. We all came from the different kind of scapes or wherever groups that we started in. And for example, the group that Mads was definitely a big fan of and definitely a part of back in the day. They were mingling with the Jeffs, the Jeremys, and so many. And it's like it was always kind of the thing that we joked about was that it was one film that basically brought us all together. And it's the film that I will not talk about. It's the film that I have actually banned that word from my channel.
I actually thought the film that would get everybody together in hindsight would have been the Farce Awakens in 2015.
Yeah, but it was the 2017 follow-up directed by a certain Roundhead that basically brought us all together.
And the fact that it took another movie, another waste of money at the theaters 2 years later, get people to be like, fuck Star Wars. I thought it would be 2015 because I fell asleep in the theater watching it.
Really?
I was the lightsaber scene with Kylo and the dumb girl.
Ray.
I'm like,
the Amazing Wonder Ray. The Amazing Wonder Ray.
I'm just gonna fall asleep. At least it's nice and cool in here and nobody's making noise. And nothing happened. My friends didn't wake me up. They knew that the movie sucked. And
see, I was weird. I was just weird. I just had this weird feeling walking out of Force Awakens. It just felt weird. It was just like I don't really have much of a feeling of it. I don't really have nothing positive or negative. It just didn't resonate with me as much as say the prequel trilogy did, or the OT, or even Clone Wars did.
I enjoyed it, but I'd already seen the film before. It was Star Wars: A New Hope all over again.
There you go. But it wasn't until kind of when that particular second film came out that it made me hate The Force Awakens even more. Like, it made me hate The Force Awakens even more because it was just like... But it was that second film that got me to basically... It killed my love for this franchise. It killed it completely. And I never went back ever again. I was always serious about this. I never saw Rise of Skywalker. I've never watched The Mandalorian. I've never watched any of the Disney Plus stuff they came out with. Because that's how bad...
X-Wing convinced me to watch The Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
And I was even more confused when that film ended compared to the film that we do not mention. And I was like, right at the end, it's like, Ray who? And it's like, she's going to say it. And then when she said it, I'm like, to be fair, it was you.
And to be fair, Ryan, it was that it wasn't just the bad how much the second film burned me, but how Lucasfilm treated everybody during the criticism and backlash. Lucasfilm's behavior is what wrote me off completely. I was like, I hate this. I hate Disney for what they're doing, and I will not support them any further if this is how they're going to act. And it kind of, and you can say that it was Lucasfilm's behavior, and what was going on in the comic book industry, their behavior as well towards fans. It's what got me kind of how I am when it comes to criticism, is that I usually tend to go after the people. Their behavior is what I focus on, because I feel like that's not because I feel like personally it's not addressed enough is how you behave around others, how you treat other people specifically, not just as a company, but individually. That's what kind of got me, and that's what walked. And the way Lucasfilm was treating everybody wrote me off completely on Star Wars.
The establishment built what I call the Alliance of Alternatives. And it's us or them, folks. Either we make pop culture great again, or it's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
But it was at the time where I'm just like, there's so many kind of, like, I went into a deep dive of a lot of things that kind of got me to here, that brought me here. but it was a huge deep dive into it because there's a lot of factors at play. Like you brought up GG. You know, I heard about it. I have heard about it, and I was never involved, but I heard about it in 2014, 2015 when that whole thing went off. And it was horrible behavior on that part, and it kind of got me to discover how much I have a disdain towards journalists. And it ramped up in 2016 through 2020 with, well, it still goes today, but of course it ramped up when, of course, the Orange Man went into office. And but it all just like, a lot of this was very unsettling for me, and it just kind of, I was just like, I just don't want to support any of this anymore. I just don't want to. I feel hated. I feel despised. I feel hated. Because I don't.
We are in. That's why they talk about the culture war. We are in a war for the soul of our respective civilizations. Because I'm based in the United Kingdom. You guys and gals, I'm assuming, are all based.
You were. I assume that the situation with Brexit was a big deal for you. It probably affected you in some way, shape, or form.
It completely split the country in two.
Right.
Mostly between age. The old were in favor of it, the young were not. In terms of different groups, class groups, the poor were largely in favor of leaving. The rich were not.
Right.
And I was kind of like the outlier in that I was young and I wanted us to get out of that hellhole before it, enveloped us. And it really did divide the entire nation.
Right.
And it caused a lot of problems. But ultimately, we are out now. And hopefully we stay out. But the problems... Well, the problems that led to us wanting to leave, mainly immigration, are still there.
They're still there, yeah. Like I guess I want to ask you this because were you a fan of one of the big talking points aside from Star Wars was of course Star Trek. Star Trek. That was the whole thing with Kurtzman and Trek and everything with Discovery and how how it seemed to be straight far away and how that was involved with, Jar Jar bad reboot, secret hideout. But I know that one of the big talking points of pop culture on your end was the 13th Doctor.
Yeah.
Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall. Were you a fan of Doctor Who at the time?
Yeah. I grew up with Doctor Who, with modern Who, new Who, because I'm 23 years old. So that isn't a damn joke. So I do make it a joke, but go on.
I am really bothered by the fact that you're 10 years younger than me. That's so weird. You're older than me. It's a running joke that it feels like I'm the youngest, and like my group of friends, I'm like basically the youngest one, and it's so weird knowing that. But I want to ask, who was your favorite Doctor? I guess.
Well, my favorite Doctor, if you combine stories with character, would have to be the 10th Doctor.
10th one, that was
David Tennant.
David Tennant, okay.
Although I think Peter Capaldi's Doctor, which was the 12th Doctor, was the most well played.
Right.
Doctor, but the stories, especially towards the end,
so much fun.
Both of them have been in high regard.
Yeah.
Especially when we were talking, especially when we had all this talk about everything that was going wrong with Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall's run of Doctor Who, the 13th Doctor.
I'm not a Doctor Who fan anymore. That Dr. Karen completely destroyed my love of Doctor Who.
Yeah, it burned it. I actually discovered. I want to say it was the 13th Doctor that discovered. That's where I discovered. I think I knew who Gary was before, but I discovered Starry Eye Girl. I discovered Chris, who was formerly known as Bolstrek Media, and then I think the 13th And also, I think the 13th Doctor is where I discovered Az of Heels versus Babyface.
I remembered Az way back when he was talking about how World of Warcraft was through the toilet.
Right.
That's where a lot of people that have followed Az got to know him from initially. I got to know Az the day that he mourned Total Biscuit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
When Total Biscuit,
I remember that.
passed,
I remember that. Oh, I remember that.
I cried, and I watched like 4 hours of just tribute videos to him.
Yeah,
because that was the guy I listened to for all my video game news. That was it. He was
a YouTuber that
I
I followed
remember
for
when-
a YouTuber that I followed for a long time. Sid Alpha was very close friends with Total Biscuit.
I remember this was many years ago now when Heel versus Babyface paid tribute to Haven Games. I mean,
Oh, that's right.
it just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, and this was during a point in Az's journey when he wanted to go from World of Warcraft to popular culture, but he felt quite a lot of resistance from his audience. And just seeing that passion, that emotion.
Yeah, that passion just kind of outweighs it all when you think about it. That passion,
and
really
it just
does
goes to show. It just goes to show that we're not here forever, folks. Everyone has their time to shine, and everyone,
and everybody has their time to go. And something I want to make a note of.
Sure.
Is I really like how you do your channel. And you show off. You have a section that you show off all the different channels that you like. And one thing that I really appreciated at the bottom was that you showed off all the channels that aren't here with us anymore. That hit me.
Forgotten.
Gone but not forgotten section.
Of fellow creators.
I saw I saw 3 specific names. Of course, the first one of the first people is the one that everybody brings up, and the one that still hurts a lot of people to this day was, Admiral Doom.
Yep.
Admiral Doom is one. I remember this time 2 years. I remember it was late 2 years ago that we lost JJ, JJ Sith Lord. Then of course, and then one other name that I saw that hit me a little bit was Uche. Yeah,
he's gone now.
Yeah, because he passed away at the same time that one of my I won't say one of my heroes, but one of my favorite automotive icons, Ken Block, passed away at the same time. Yeah. And I remember who brought. I think it was Grumpy. I think it was Grumpy who brought that up. That hey, we lost Uche on a morning channel. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, I remember
that
when
hit Matt so hard too as well.
Yeah, I remember when Keely Chow told me, and I was like, "What? No." I had to check. I didn't believe him.
I didn't believe it either. Check. I was like, "This is insane," because he was like, he was a very integral part of G&G. He was, he was there front and center as a part of the whole Snyder Cut movement. A big purveyor in the Snyder Cut movement, and there was a lot of big people in that movement, hands down. So
he's a polarizing figure.
It just goes to show everything has a beginning and everything has an end. That's why channels that survive are multi-generational.
Right,
and
exactly.
That's why ultimately I'm going to have to find a successor. And the channel,
it's just so kind of like surreal to just be like go to a channel like that and realize that like they're not making content anymore. It's just like damn, they're gone. That's like it hits us. And I know it hits hard with a lot of people in this community. A lot of people in our community. I know JJ. I know Sith Lord was a big deal, and I know Admiral Doom was a big deal to so many people.
And that's why, as YouTube and other mainstream social media platforms get out of their teenage years and become fully fledged adults, they're going to have to consider the possibility that, you've got to make one or two choices. Do you keep these channels up, or do you cut them out? And that's going to be, I think that's going to be a very big debate moving.
That is going to be a big debate.
Because there's
And
only
that's
so
something to
much
think
they
about.
can put into their system.
Right, and there's only and that's something to think about, is that do you want to keep the channel, like what do you want to do with your channel? And I think that's something that we probably need to ask everybody.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with your channel after you're gone? What do you want to do? Do you want to preserve it, maybe like as an archive or something like that? As a way to just kind of archive it. I think for me personally, I probably would want to have this channel as like an archive, or just like a, like a museum, a history,
It's like the Library of Alexandria.
Yeah, like a library,
Think about people in the 22nd or the 23rd century. If archiving was a real foundational thing, watch this show as a piece of historical record.
Yeah, because I've talked about this. I've talked about this a couple of times before, in that there's a great quote from one of my favorite producers, musical producers, Ninth Wonder, who said in one of his tracks, he made a monologue explaining that your legend is not decided by you, it's decided by the people that you've impacted once you leave this earth, once you leave this plane. That's how you decide, that's how you become a legend. You it's by the people you impact, and those people are going to remember you. You're going to, some people, it's going to be really, those people are going to remember you. I will stand by this until my dying breath, that I always believe that people are never forgotten. People will never be forgotten. Always believe that, because
that's in my view, that's what a soul is, and that's we've managed to put the soul in a bottle, folks, so to speak. And that's how channels are a great example of this. When people have passed on, you can see what they have done, what they have talked about. You can see their legacy. That is how they are remembered for the majority of people, and that becomes their soul. We're so technologically advanced, we've managed to put the soul into a bottle.
Right, and that's something that, and it's also because I believe it's that you're going to be remembered by the people you've impacted. Look at the people you've impacted, because they're gonna remember you. Those people are going to remember you. They're going to make sure you're not forgotten. So always try to do your best and make sure you leave a mark. Always try to make sure you leave a mark on this planet while you still have time, and because that people will. Because that it'll never feel like you're dead anymore. You'll never feel like you're forgotten when your time comes. And hopefully,
why do you think I have me on other shows playlist? So people can find me everywhere.
Exactly.
That's why we have it.
I hope I really do. I do pray that I hope I get remembered for the work that I put out. For my own work. And it's like, I don't see myself as like, it's just going to be like this Van Gogh thing where you're just going to be remembered after your work is going to be heavily remembered after you pass on. But I do hope that my work is the thing that people won't forget about me when my time comes.
In terms of the age of the creator, folks, we're barely in its teenage years as a concept, as a commercial concept. There are about 1 billion people who actively view YouTube, and of that, there are about 50 million active channels that have a good audience base, a good subscriber base, as it were, like over 100.
And it's not just YouTube, but it's it's other sites like Twitter or Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
We had a guy on my channel two Monday nights ago, with me and Janet. And Janet's like, what do you, how did you discover this, or what do you do? And
I need to say hi to everybody. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
He says, I really just was bored one night at work, and I couldn't find anything to listen to. So I started just going for YouTube, and I found this guy. Bruce has all these gaming vids.
Hey, Wade, how's it going?
he sets up a playlist of all the games he does in a year, and that's how he discovered us. He's like, then the next day I'm at home on the toilet, and a video comes up on my feed from 14 years ago or 13 years ago, but it's from the same channel. And Bruce didn't realize it, but he started archiving in a time capsule his gaming tables. And you can go back in time and listen to the games if you like games, but the conversations that are taking place around the table are almost as important, more important than what's really going on at the table itself. And he's like, that right there is impressive. And the fact that somebody was able to archive it for the past 13 years, I'm like, hey, there's some years I didn't record a single video. He's like, yeah, but you've gotten back into it really hard and heavy. And now your streams, you're doing 6 to 9 hour shows. And the fact that you can do that, this is something that people are going to come along later and be like, hey, my dad used to play with this guy. I want to see it. And you have the ability, all of you have the ability to record these conversations or these good times on your phones. And I know that sounds kind of lame, maybe narcissistic, but realize that you're not going to be here forever. And
it's absolutely vital.
Well, and I think, and I do think in my case, I think the probably lucky thing I have is that, you know, I do have most of my work archived, and it's on Google. It's on my Google Photos tab is where most of my work has been archived. But not only that, because I've kept every single sketchbook I've had since high school, you know, you could easily go through there, take a look, and you can easily go look through there, scan those. Somebody could go through there, scan those, and send them out. It's just like, this is, you know, my work. This is, you know, what my work was like, and these people could be inspired by that. That's the thing with it's kind of the Van Gogh principle, and it's something that Mads brought up a while back, was that, you know, Van Gogh wasn't remembered until after he was gone. His work wasn't remembered, and I'm wondering that might be the case with me. It's just that, you know, my work probably won't be remembered until after I leave this earth, after I leave this plane, you know?
Yeah, you have different industries with different mindset.
But I do think that the reason I do believe I probably won't be forgotten is because, you know, my time on the YouTube, you know, I feel like I've heard so many people. I feel like I've touched and connected with so many different people, and especially people in this chat who I've spoken to one-on-one, or I've spoken to personally. And I do think that these guys that, you know, say if I was to be gone right now or even tomorrow, every person in this chat, every person in this panel, every person watching will not forget who I am, because how much I've impacted, and maybe not impacted their life, or who have somehow became a part of that. Like, I bring up Squeeka because she says she doesn't have a talent, but her talent is the fact that she's just, her being here is a talent of itself. Her being here and being able to affect all of our lives without even having to do anything, that's a talent. You know, we're not going to forget Squeeka. We're not going to forget people like Loki. We're not going to forget people like Mads. We're not going to forget people like Bruce, and, you know, and so on and so forth.
It's the power of
it's
inspiration.
how you impact. Yeah, it's how you impact others. You know, we're not going to forget people like Gary or the FNT crew or the big names out there, because of how big of an impact they've had on us and on our lives. You know, for better or worse.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that would actively try to forget me.
Yeah. Yeah. But you also know that people who will never forget you, and you always have, and that's something I always tell Mads, is like, no matter what, you got somebody who will never forget you, and that is Little Bear. You know, that's your own daughter there. She's gonna carry on, you know, she's gonna carry on your legacy, no matter what. She's gonna carry that on for you, you know, and that's the thing. And, you know, sorry, you know what the funny thing is, guys. The funny thing is, Roger, you understand firsthand is that we talk and we shoot. That's why we like to talk and just kind of go on just like a free form when it comes to these topics. But every time we do that, we always end up going into a topic that's very personal for all of us. We always end up going there. Ask Arwen. She'll tell you that all the time. It gets very personal, very touchy, heartwarming moments there. But that's I realized that that's just the power. That's just the nature of my channel in general. Is that
we've
and that's
mailed
something
out more boxes of Kleenexes to ladies that cry.
Well, into guys and everyone, but the thing is that, and that's something that I've learned when I had, when I finally got the chance to have Mike, Mexican Ironman, on for the first time, was that something he told me was that you're very much a people person. You very much focus on the people itself. So that's how he's able to connect. That's how we're able to have these kind of moments where it's just like, we talk these heavy topics. We talk these topics that are just very heartwarming, that mean personal. A lot of us, we always have these moments here. And it's probably just because naturally, we try to, my channel tries to speak to the person. And try to speak to the person watching. That's what I want to aim for. I want to try to speak to the artist watching. So that's why it feels very personal for me to be open about this, and personal for a lot of other people to be open about this as well, especially our guests who come on. Sorry.
You got to have a heart and a soul to be a true artist.
Right.
And that's how you connect with people.
And the thing is that, I take such heavy inspiration from Loki. I've said it. I said it on the birthday stream that I put Loki above Gary, above Jeff, above so many other people, because he has become, one of my biggest inspirations on this channel. And what becomes almost one of my biggest heroes on this channel is because his morning shows really do speak to the person watching. They really do speak on a personal level, especially his Wednesday YouTube talks. YouTube talks hit home hard with me a lot, and there are cases where there are elements of there are segments of Makini Live where it turns into a YouTube talk. like right now it turns into a YouTube talk because it's all about how do you traverse through this platform? How do you how do you carry yourself?
How do you keep on going, and how do you keep on growing?
How do you take what you learn here and apply it to any other form of social media, or even in life in general? Because there's such a close correlation between our YouTube lives and our real lives. There's definitely a connection there.
The digital can be the foundation for the physical. So we can use the digital realm as a sort of practice zone.
But
when we get it right here, we can get it right in the physical world.
Right. And you don't rely, but also most importantly, is you can't rely in this age that we're in. You can't rely on the digital realm to save you, because the digital realm is going to consume you. You got a life out here. You got a life outside of here. You can't just leave. You can't live online. You can't.
No.
Some people may, but you have to live here. Have another life outside of here. That's always going to be more important. It'll always be more important, this YouTube thing. And and I know that's the same for you as well, Ryan. And Mads and Bruce and everybody.
Yeah, I have a strong foundation here. I've lived here for most of my life. I enjoy my life in the real world, going out, seeing people that I've known for most of my life, and seeing new people here and there. But this is the place where I mostly meet new people. Close-knit community, folks. Barely anything changes.
Exactly. It is the case. That that is definitely the case when it comes to, our YouTube lives and our real lives here. It's but it hits home. It hits home. It always hits home with all of us. It always hits those here's those things here. And our chat is just like our chat is very active. Makini up. I would say we have the biggest channel on YouTube, greatest channel on YouTube, is because we have a very active chat. A chat that was, we get into these heavy topics and our chat is just gone. It's just absolutely gone. And gone in the sense that they just they're constantly talking, they're constantly commenting to the point where I can't keep up. And you know what? I love that. I love that I can't keep up with this chat. It's like, because I have to scroll all the way up just so I can be able to read all the comments, because it really is. It really does. It really does. We built this, since August of 2020, when I first did that, when it was just a potato cam. When it was just a potato cam and my whatever head microphones that I had that just was absolute trash. You can go all the way back to the archives there. But what was there was a foundation. What was there was, a chance to become something growing, something more. And I'm so proud to the fact that I feel like I've succeeded in turning this specific show, Makini Live, into the place to be on a Sunday afternoon. On a late Sunday afternoon.
And you conquered the greatest. Well, you, my good man, and all the creators on this panel conquered the greatest hurdle a viewer can face when crossing over from being a viewer to a creator, and that's to start. Now, the second greatest hurdle is to keep on going, and the third greatest hurdle is to keep on growing. But the hardest thing to do is to start.
The thing is that, I see the way I see YouTube is I see it like I saw with Instagram. You just start posting shit. Just start posting shit, and you'll eventually start growing. You'll start building a groove. You'll start figuring things out, and you'll find your audience soon enough. If you focus on the quality of your content and constantly learning to improve and such, the audience is going to find you. You're never going to need to find your audiences. That your audiences will always find you. That's what I believe, is that you put your best foot forward. Put your best foot forward and be consistent about that. Consistently try to improve. Consistently try to improve on your content, but at the same time, make sure that you have a love for it as well. That you love doing this. That's once you have that love, the people are going to see that. Passive buyers are going to see that. If you're not loving what you're doing, everybody's going to notice that. That's why I'm grateful to have somebody like. That's why I'm grateful I have somebody like Mads and Bruce here, because they kind of direct me. They always tend to lead me back into, let's focus on what you love doing about this instead of complaining as much. I try not to complain as much about pop culture and such like that, because it's, that's ultimately that's not what I want my channel to be. I want my channel to be where this is an art channel first and foremost. That's what I want this channel to be, and that's what I want this channel to become. So we always try to focus.
I just like to say that highlighting the problem only gets you so far. At the end of the day, you have to find a solution, and what Makini Draws is doing is finding the solution and making artwork great again, one drawing and one beautiful woman at a time.
But and that's the thing. It's like, and that's the thing that I appreciated was like, you saw that you went from because it's at the time it's like we went from trying to complain to want change, to want change in our modern myths, our favorite stuff, to deciding that okay, they're not going to change. They're not going to change. They're not going to convince. They're already hell set. Okay, so what do?
We find the solution.
We find a solution, and for a good chunk of people, that solution was, we'll do it ourselves.
Exactly.
we'll make the modern myths that we want to see.
And the
And that's where people become
great
creators.
example.
Yeah.
The Rippaverse
They
is a
become
great example.
creators. I was like, F it. We're gonna make us. We're gonna make our own comics. We're gonna make our own. We're gonna make new. We're gonna make new modern myths. We're gonna make new, we're gonna make new, just new phenomenons. It may not reach the level of a pop culture phenomenon, say like a Star Wars, but the fact that it's better than staying here and just saying. It's better than just, better than just sitting here and just complain all the time. Go out and do it. And I'm so happy and I'm so like envious so many people who go out there and do it.
Yeah, because many creators, many prominent creators, ladies and gentlemen, made a name for themselves as a result of highlighting the problem. But the establishment, as stubborn as it is, never learns from its mistake.
No, never does.
And as a result, a new generation of creators rose, inspired by those who highlighted the problem, to try and find a solution to the problem that was highlighted. And the
thing is that you have to have the thing is that you can't go into creating something with the purpose of trying to solve the problem. You have to have an enjoyment of that yourself, something that you're personally passionate about. And that's why I appreciate stuff like Rippaverse and stuff like that. Is that they want to be the new, they want to be that kind of the new, the new space. It's like the show that, no, they're not trying, like some people will want to try to take over the space that's already there, the pop culture space, but some people want to be a new alternative outlet to that space. They want to show that there is a space for both. You can have creator content and you can have the main content. Give the viewers options. Give the viewers so many options to choose from.
You can have Trailblazer in safe space, and you can also have ISOM, and you can have good content. It's amazing.
Yeah. Let them do what they want to do. We'll be here doing our own thing. A lot of, in the ways that was how CG was created. That's how Rippaverse kind of started, and this is how it is, to be, be the change that you want to see in pop culture, be the create the thing that you want to see, that honors the thing that you're very passionate about.
Well, that's not just in popular culture. We're also seeing that in media, entertainment, history, geography,
even in politics, politics. Yeah, there have been a lot of creative. There have been known
politicians.
Yeah, there have been known YouTube creators who went on to become politicians. For success of of varying successes, of course.
Do you imagine it, folks? Crowdfunding your political campaign through super chats.
Exactly.
Together, we will make our local community great again. One super chat at a time.
Yeah, it's just like I think that probably the biggest YouTube creator to politician that I've seen was Carl Benjamin, of the Lotus Eaters, who many of y'all may know used to know as Sargon of Akkad. So yeah, of course, yeah. We don't talk politics here. We stay so far away from politics because it's so incredibly divisive and it's already tearing our own home, our own country apart.
Yeah, it's a
we
minefield.
don't want to take part in that. It's such a huge minefield. But I do follow the political channels out there. Not many as I used to anymore, but I still do from time to time. Like I still follow. Like I still one of my first the first channels that I followed in the political space is probably one that everybody knows, Tim Pool. I still do to this day. It's a minefield. It's a minefield, but it's the thing is that you can see how, it pushes itself into pop culture. It affects pop culture. It's a downstream when you think about it. It is a downstream from that. And a lot of those talking points can be seen within. We've seen it for years. We've seen it plenty for years, and we've seen it succeed and we've seen it fail. You know, Bruce, it hits his space because he's big into tabletop, and that's his, that's his life, that's his bread and butter, that's what he's so passionate about. And he hates what has happened to this space thanks to big companies like WotC, thanks to franchises like Dungeons and Dragons and such. And he found a different alternative. He found that you're not dictated. Your tabletop games, your role-playing games aren't dictated by the big names like Dungeons and Dragons. It's like, no, tabletop is for everyone, and you can make your own game. You can make your own campaign. You don't need to have to rely on their rule book. You're not dictated by that. You're not directed by that.
I'm not tied to using Paizo's work for the Pathfinder game that I've played for the past 15 years. Instead, I've been using a different company's work, and they don't have any woke politics, which is nice. And then in 2018, when Pathfinder 2 announced itself, I started writing my own system, and I spent probably 4 hours writing on it yesterday. I got about 18,000 words in, and probably will have that released by Labor Day.
That's incredible, Bruce. You should write a novel.
I'm not going to release it with any art. I'm not going to. I'm going to go completely just text on it, because I could do art, but I just want people to download it for free and use it and see where they go with it.
Exactly. It's such an important thing to think about, and it's such an important thing to kind of really get into, because you want to just be a creator yourself. And a lot of our channels, a lot of the big channels that we follow, they would end up going on to becoming creators in their own rights, which is such an inspiring thing to see. People like, the Eric Julys, the Razor Fists of the world. It's just like, they go on to become creators in their own rights.
And as more and more people watch, especially from the third world, once they get Wi-Fi, and it'll go from 1 billion to billions of viewers, and it will be easier for fellow creators to get into the tens of thousands, the hundreds of thousands, even the millions. I really do think that in maybe a decade or two, 10,000 subscribers will be the new 1,000, because of all the great people from all over the world watching YouTube for the first time, or tweeting for the first time from Nigeria or Indonesia, or Somalia, or other poorer countries who finally get internet.
Let me go get started on this. Sorry. But yeah, that's the case. That's the case. And we all want to, and it inspires a lot of people who want to go out and become creators themselves as well. That's so important. That's so important to me when I'm seeing that. And I think that's something that is so important for everybody to see, from everybody to witness.
Yeah. And when you get all these different perspectives coming together from across the entire world onto one platform, the platform is going to have to realize that its rule set is going to have to adapt for the massive new audience, because people of the third world, people who are poorer, have much more traditional mindsets than those of richer countries. So they're going to have to change their rules.
Right. And another thing to think about is that, you look at this platform right now, you look at YouTube and how much it caters to the mainstream outlets. It caters to the big mainstream outlets mainly because they're failing. The mainstream talking points are starting to fail. And it's the creators, it's the people that the general public want to hear, because that speaks to them more personally.
Yeah, especially in the United States. Yeah, especially in the United States. The old mainstream media narrative, folks, is of a 20th century mindset. The age of the creator is the 21st century mindset. I don't have the foresight to see what's coming in the next century.
No,
I don't
nobody
know what's
does.
going to happen.
But the thing is, I don't think anybody does, though. me personally, I think not everybody is going to be able to predict what's going to happen in, let's say, the next 5 or so years on this platform.
I will say,
But that being said, we can see where it could lead. We could see where it's what the trajectory is for a platform like YouTube that caters more towards mainstream, mainstream outlets, mainstream, establishment. When it's ultimately what a lot of people complain is that they want this platform to focus on the people who put this platform, who made it what it is, and that is the creators, the individual people who have a camera, because that's what built this platform. It's just the people, is the creators. It was the old tagline, broadcast yourself.
Although I will say, folks, we are closer to 2100 than we are to 1945. About 77 years to 78. So, yeah.
Yeah, and
the future is coming, folks.
It's coming. It's coming. And, it is, you're afraid that it is going to turn into, and then a lot of people have justified fears that, this is going to be we might be in a 1984, Fahrenheit 451 kind of setting, because, with all the rules and regulations that are going on in the outside world, and, the power, it's all about power and control and such like that. And it's something you have to. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that in the past, nations, peoples had the room to be able to breathe and to change, as it were. I mean, nations would rise and fall like the seasons. Not so in the modern era. I mean, borders have barely changed in my lifetime. There have been the occasional conflict here and there, but for the most part, most of the world's countries have stayed intact. Whereas, 100, 200 years ago, empires would rise and fall. People would have their time to shine and fade away. And as a result, most of our conflict nowadays, it isn't physical, it's mental, it's psychological.
It's not only that, but it's also on the digital front. Because the world's trying to adapt to, the ever increasing of technology, the expansion of the internet and such like that. All these new things are popping up year by year. And it's like, how do you control that? How do you regulate that and such like that? Like, for example, the biggest talk right now is AI. AI is becoming, the AI talk has become much more prominent now. It's what sparked, of course, the writer's strike. The thing with the writer's strike that is going on right now. It is a good portion of it is AI generated, because
nothing of value was lost.
Well, yeah, and it's just the fact that the AI programs, the Mid Journeys, the Stable Diffusions, the Chat GPTs of the world, those places, they're becoming much more prominent in that they're able to create a script or even works of art through just a few prompts and do it better than, say, people who have been in it for years, honing their craft.
Thank you.
And how long is artificial
script and art director? You now owe us $70,000.
Hail off Stephen One. Hail, sir. Art, music, animation. It's everywhere now.
Yeah.
It is everywhere. And the thing is, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I will say, though, if you think about it, how much time has artificial intelligence evolved under human design? A century? Maybe a century and a half?
Right.
It took humanity, if you follow the evolution theory, hundreds of thousands of years to evolve into what we are today. And, the things we have created have done that in a century and a half, perhaps a shorter amount of time, 50 years. Imagine what it could reach, by the end of the century. We are closer to 2100 than we are to 1945.
Right.
And a lot of things changed from 1945 until today. And a lot of things will change from 2023 to 2100. So its potential is limitless. I mean, all those writers striking, their days are numbered. Commercially
right.
speaking.
And here's the thing is that, here's the thing. You can't, once you let this is a Pandora's box. Once you let it out of the box, you can't put it back in. You can't. We have to understand it now. We have to live with that. And the thing is, and that of course on my end, it's dealing with the rise of like AI generated art and such like that. And it already seems that there's been so much pushback to it. Not only that, but just pushback. Not only that, regulations towards it and such like that. That it's interesting to see how. It's really interesting to see that. It really is interesting to see that, and it's like, what's going to happen in a few years' time? What is going to happen in about 5 years' time? Is there going to be a bigger push for regulations? Is it going to be the case where everybody's going to be losing everything to AI generated stuff, to where it's like because we already have the situation with automation. We already have the situation with automation in different industries already. Taking, being able to do a lot of stuff that, humans cannot be able to do. It's an interesting thing. I really want to say that this is definitely a very, very, very interesting time that we're in right now, that the world is in right now. And everybody's eyes are glued to it. Everybody's wondering what's going to happen next.
Well, I personally think that what is very difficult for us human beings to do, we should try our best to build a tool capable of doing it better, and try our best to ensure that we stay professional in that particular industry, like space travel. That's a great example.
You want to make sure that you not just build a counter, but build a strong solution that allows humans to just continue they still have the control. It's like a lot of this I do think a lot of this can be avoided. We see this in we see the horrors displayed in science fiction. We worry that those horrors are going to happen here, and they will be happening. But I do think that there is always a chance for us to be able to turn that around, to be able to make sure it does prevent it from happening. And it does speak on the theme. And also the other thing is that, the brain is still the smartest computer. Period. The human brain is still the smartest computer.
Human beings have a tendency, Makini, to only learn when they have their asses handed to them, so to speak. It's very difficult to learn from the mistakes of others.
And it is
learn by their own experiences.
And in this case, and in some cases, it's a lot of cases recently. It's like it's difficult for humans to learn from history, because you're the old saying, those who fail to understand history are doomed to repeat it. That's something that everybody has to keep that in mind when it comes to,
because we won't get a second chance with technology like this. We won't.
So you want to be able to, you want to make sure regulations and such like that. Yeah, regulations may help, but think about the people behind those regulations. Are they doing it to actually help us as a species, to help everybody survive, or help everybody thrive, help humans continue to thrive, or this for their own personal gains? That's why in the case that you can't trust anybody. It's so hard to trust different people and such like that, especially, you can't trust politicians. It's just that it's that human element that has to come into a factor. And the fact of the matter is that, humans are imperfect. humans are imperfect. Humans have their own thoughts, their own minds, their own sense. And that's why it's a threat. That's why they see it as a threat, is that, individual thought, individual perspective, individual mindsets. You see that people see that, people who want to pursue power see that, they see it as a threat because they want everybody to mindless. They want everybody to be mindless. And it's like, how one person can change the mind, one person can change the world.
Yeah, the potential of an individual is terrifying. That's why we're terrified of a piece of software becoming self-aware, because if one piece of software can do that, it has the potential to wreak havoc.
Yeah.
Think of a human mind trapped on the internet, folks. Opening all these things and hacking all these things and all sorts of crazy things.
They can do amazing things, and it's humans who create it. You're creating your own tools for your destruction. You're creating all of that, and it's like you got to. That's why you got to check yourself. You got to realize, if you think that you may be able to control or harness this power, you can't.
You can't even control people.
Exactly. That's why you gotta. That's why I see it as you have to. You have to be careful with that. You have to be careful with that because, it's not just human minds that is the biggest, that is a big threat to a lot of people, but it's the human spirit.
Yep.
Spiritually, we're rebels. I know as Americans, a lot of Americans are rebels. Our country was basically formed on rebellion.
Yeah, and half your country built a rebellion to defend their way of life as well. So you Yankees, Dixies, and Callies certainly have a way about you. I'll say
exactly.
You can fight each other to the end of the earth and still be the most powerful nation on earth.
Right, and that's something to think about. That's something that keeps in mind to a lot of people, and I think there's a lot of people. So many people are scared of and such like that. It's like. But then again, you can see that, that the thing about rebellion, that human spirit, as from what I've seen over the years in my time on YouTube, is that human spirit can be manipulated in so many ways. It can be manipulated on both sides. Exactly.
Tyranny breeds rebellion, and ultimately rebellion breeds tyranny. It's that and endless cycle. That's why we live in a coil, folks.
Exactly.
Spinning.
It's such an interesting thing to kind of examine, and it's just like
that's why I like analyzing creators, understanding people, understanding different motivations, different personalities, because in order to build an ideal, you have to understand everyone and everything in order to ensure social peace,
and
economic
the truth
prosperity.
is exactly right, Ryan. And the truth is that a lot of people is just, a lot of people generally, they just want to be able to live their life. They want to be able to live their own life without having to worry about, putting food on the table, worrying about how to get through the day and such like that. They just want to go and live their life. So, and the thing is that I do believe is that
there is a minority.
I think there is a
chaos makers.
Right. I do believe in that, and I may sound naive saying this, but I do believe in that. You should be able to live your life without having to worry about worrying about your freedoms taken away, or worrying about your freedom to think.
That's
for
the
yourself.
ideal that we should all strive for.
I pushed
an ideal we should all strive.
I've been on this. I've been on this stint for a long time now, and I stand by that. And it's like why, personally, for me, whenever the topic of race comes into mind, I refuse to support. I refuse to support groups like BLM and such like that because, and it comes from a general perspective in that I'm an individual. You're raised to be an individual. You weren't raised to be part of a collective, part of a hive mind. You're raised on being an individual person and raised to think for yourself. Think for yourself, don't be dictated by, only be dictated by one's own freedom. to be
and that was the great argument. That was the great argument of the 20th century between the individual and the collective, between the United States of America and the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. I mean, half the world was built on the free West and the tyrannical East, and that was the great battle of the 20th century. And now for the 21st century, it's not a battle between different states of being. It's a battle between one state of being, which has become decadent and corrupt, and its opposition is this alliance of alternatives.
Right.
The establishment against people.
Yeah, and it's almost like the establishment against...
It's international.
Establishment against individualism. And I think that's something that individualism is becoming... I feel like it's becoming in danger in wake of trying to be, a hive mind, trying to want to be a part of a collective based on, in my personal opinion, based on manipulation and false manipulation and lies, and on false,
Well, when you lose a war, Makini, you don't just give up and die. And that's exactly what the collectivists have done. They lost the great battle of the 20th century, and they've decided to fight in a new way in the 21st century by weaponizing weakness,
weaponizing emotion, weaponizing the problems of the world, weaponizing all that.
Manhood, masculinity.
Well, it's more than that. It's more than that. It's general. Regardless of how you feel about this problem or this issue or that issue, it's so important that you got to think for yourself. You got to think of what you believe. You have to understand that, the guy next to you may not agree with you on everything, but that doesn't mean that you can't be unified. That doesn't mean you still can be able to connect with one another. Like, that's just some things there's a lot of people and it's that the whole diversity of thought and such like that. But you're championing, you're trying to champion this false and I will say forced attempt at diversity when it was something that was always there from the very beginning. That those things, those aspects, those elements, those things that you're trying to virtue for, you're trying to champion for, a lot of those things have been there since the beginning, since the dawn of time, because on a human angle, because you're unified as human beings, but you're different as people. It's race, skin color does matter, I agree, but it shouldn't matter to the point where it should be the deciding factor on everything. It's like, no, we're humans, we're all one race. We're the human race. We're all general people, trying to make through our lives and experience our lives on this floating giant rock in space. Floating rock in space. And if we get it right, I really do think that if we win the battle for the 21st century in the same way that the battle for the 20th century was won, we will be able to be in a position as a species to go from Earth to conquer our solar system into the 22nd century, and then to conquer the stars, this galaxy, into the 23rd and 24th century. Right. If we get it right. If we lose, we'll be set back 1,000 years, just like with the Roman Empire. Right. And the thing is that, you've got to understand it's like, in some ways you just gotta, and in some ways it starts with what's at home. It starts with what's at home. Focus on what's at home first. And then before you go out and try to change the world, change what yourself is. Change yourself first. Focus on what you want to improve on at home, and then go out there and go at it. But the thing is, that's something that you're gonna have to spend the rest of your life trying to do, trying to change, trying to, all of those things. You can't do it overnight. You have to focus on yourself and focus on what you're trying to aim for, what you want to see in your lifetime, or in your in your space. Focus on you first, and then before you can focus on conquering the world, before you can focus on taking on the world and such. But
that's why the digital world is a great foundation, a great place to practice, as it were, to speak your mind, to speak truth to power, to build up your confidence in order to then transplant that.
That's the fun. And I am so sorry, everybody in the chat. We are really into this discussion, as you could tell. Mads and Bruce.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to get a word in. So to point out that you have a super chat.
I know. I'm so sorry about that, y'all. That has been. We've been really at this, haven't we? Mm-hmm. This is the case. That's to get those to topics in discussion. So, before I get to the super chat from memes, I want to bring up one comment specifically, and that is from author Stephen Walton. Mac went from being timid on live stream back in the fourth way days to being able to carry on a stream. Proud of you, Mac. Thank you, Stephen. That means a lot. Thank you, and definitely that came from humble beginnings. We all had humble beginnings. And we had to find a place to start, and I'm glad I was able to be a part of that contribution to Rogue Entertainment back in the day, and just being a mod on so many people's channels, and to find out we're still rocking together no matter what happens is I appreciate that. It's our paths go different ways, but it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. We're still, I'm still the same person that I was, in 2020. I'm still that. It's just, we've improved, we've grown, we've all grown, we've all improved, we've all, we've seen what this is like, and we're deciding what do we want? What do we want out of this? What do we want out of this? What do we want to focus on? So I appreciate that, Stephen. That really means a lot from you, man. It really does.
RealityBased is part of Rogue Entertainment.
Exactly. And then we got a $9.99 $10 super chat from the one, the only means of distraction memes, who goes into these topics much more personal than much more from definitely a scientific and philosophical point of view. Him and Piper, of course. But he goes into that. And one thing I want to say about memes is that at this time when everybody was complaining about our pop culture, like Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, and such like that, he was always, and he will always be, the person who goes in and say, hey, bring that back down. Think, do you really want to be like this? Do you really want to attack him like this way? I've always seen memes as the voice of reason. He's always become that voice of reason, always become the thing that's just like, and I appreciate the fact that he's willing to challenge your perceptions, to challenge your misconceptions, to challenge the minds, to get you to think. To get you to think for yourself, to get you to really thinking down this, like, don't follow just the one opinion, the approved opinion. You have your own thoughts, you have your own beliefs. Follow what's in your heart rather than trying to follow what's everybody else is saying. You know what I mean? So memes, thank you so much for that. He says, "Hi friends, whatever you do, awesomely, please don't check Twitter. Too late for that."
I just did.
That's why I said too late for that memes. But thank you so much for the $10 super chat memes. I really appreciate that. And just for that, let's see, what can I do for $10? Here's like a memes guy. I don't know if he'd be into this. I don't know what memes would be into. So let's do for the $10 super chat. Let me give you a Sakura. Thank you, memes. I really appreciate that.
I'm just dancing.
Keep on guessing. Keep on guessing. Keep on guessing. Keep on guessing.
Thank you, memes, for that. By the way, you probably didn't know that. So I use Street Fighter clips all the time. It's kind of similar to my channel, but the way I did because we're going all 90s theme, Ryan, I'm doing the super chats in the form of an infomercial. It's what you see up in the front. That's really doing that, because the whole thing is 90s. It's all a 90s theme, and it's something I've grown up. It's an era that I grew up in, era that I've watched TV obsessively in, and it's something that I picked up from. It's something
I was 6 months old when the 90s ended. I was 6 months old when the 90s ended.
I was born right at the beginning, right at the beginning of the decade. So I have a lot of memories of that decade, and as I've gotten older, I've begun to appreciate a lot of factors, a lot of things from that decade that seem to kind of carry over into here. And I noticed that that's kind of the funny thing I noticed, is that a lot of things come full circles, because I see that there's definitely a 90s revival going on right now, and I find it interesting. I find it very, very interesting, and I thought that because of the character that I do. Our main mascot is Bubblegum, and that's Kiki, and she's the black girl at the very center. And I've joked, somebody joked to me that when I drew Kiki, every time, the character has she has this amazing talent to make anything she wears look retro. And I thought, when I was coming up with a new design, when I was coming up with the designs for this season, I was like, she has this 90s vibe that is somehow transitions into anything she puts on, somehow becomes 90s. It looks retro. So I was like, you know what? I did this short where I did an entire drawing. I did all my drawings of Bubblegum. I did this little short that has all the drawings in order, but it's done in the form of a VHS. And I was like, this is perfect. You know what? Screw it. We're gonna go 90s theme. I think we're gonna go 90s theme for this entire season. Hence why you see the background is very Saved by the Bell-ish and such like that. It's like there's a lot of. I brag about it because I did a lot of research in preparation for this season to get all the stuff and get everything ready and make sure everything looks perfect. Hence why you see you saw the intro has those elements. I was looking up a lot of commercials and stuff like that to be able to get that look just right. And it goes even down to discovering the fonts and such like that, because I have me personally, I have a graphic design background. So that's kind of where that, seeing the world like that, and it's like seeing something that's just like, and that feels so unique to me, because it's like you can create, like two people can create the same thing, but it can come down to how one person sees the world, how one person views it. And I think that's something that, for me personally, I don't think that can be replicated. I don't think that my own viewpoint or what I see in the world can't be replicated. It's just because it's so mine and my own, and I think that's what makes it special, and that's why I'm so into individualism and such like that. Is because your own perspective is what's going to make it. Your own perspective is going to make what you see in the world special to you, and what other people.
Well, as someone who analyzes, as someone who analyzes creators, that's sort of my niche, as it were. I found that there are certain similarities between creators and their attitudes and their confidence, especially. But there is a unique aspect to every creator, both positive and negative.
Positive and negative.
And if there was ever a way of bottling that up in both cases, then we wouldn't be human, would we?
No.
Now let's talk about soap.
Maki?
Yes.
Meme said to check DMs. I'm dying to know what mischief he got up to.
Oh, what is going on here, memes? Memes, you better. Oh, shit, what is this? What is the Little Mermaid? What? Oh, Piper did something with the Little Mermaid. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Well, I heard Piper sing. She's a great singer.
Yeah, she's a great singer. Oh, it's a promotion. Okay, she's got another book. Play on the Little Mermaid. That's cool. That's cool. I'll have to check that out, man. Thank you. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. I got to check that out later. Oh, okay. So we're not gonna get. Okay, so as long as we're not gonna get claimed, I think we should be fine. So,
yeah, Steven says they played it on Rogue.
Okay, perfect. All right, so this is. Sorry, wrong. Let me share my screen again. Let me share the tab. The Little Mermaid. I like that. All right, and let's hit play.
Y'all ready? Look at this gear, isn't it neat? 10,000 rounds till my mission's complete. Wouldn't you think I'm the merc who has watching me? Look at this crate, isn't it great? How many weapons can I compensate? Looking around me, you think, yeah, she'll kill everything. I've got bullets and shells at the ready. I've got bloodthirst and craving for gore. You want TNA? I've got plenty.
Oh my
But
goodness.
who cares? No big deal. I want more. I wanna go where the humans are. I wanna see them fleeing, mowing them down with this. What do you call it? Oh, guns. Listen, you can't use these things. Legs are required for guerrilla tactics. Taking shots from a. Wow, this is really fun. I'll make them scream. I'll make them cry. I'll make them all beg me for their lives. Shooting scream. Wish I could see more of their guts. I just can't wait till I can paint everything red. I just can't stop popping them off till they're all dead. Bet you I can just spray their brains all over the walls. I'll be grinning as 'cause I'm winning, watching them fall. Peppering people with glitter, making me let till their heads explode. Let them fire and watch them, what's the word? Burn. When's it my turn? When I love to destroy the world up above. Get out of the sea, or I'll watch it bleed as you guard the world. If somebody's gonna fuck up The Little Mermaid, it's gonna be me.
Oh my god! I got
So
nothing.
good.
I got nothing there, man.
So good, I had to hear it twice.
Oh
It's
man,
the second
was...
time I've heard that.
Oh really?
Lovely.
That's crazy. That is messed up. Thank you for that, Beebs. Oh, I have to look into that now. I gotta look into that. I'll try to back it. That's awesome. That's awesome. And considering everything with the little mermaid and everything, I was like, this is a very, very, very fun parody. That was like a very fun parody in my opinion. Oh. Stop, Zombie Fox. Oh
Zombie, he's half. No, I'm half his age, Zombie. I'm 23 and Walton is 46. You have
Shit,
a
you're half
perverted
my
mind.
age.
Yeah, I'm 23. Not a joke. It's true.
I'm saying this. I'm only saying that. I'm saying this as a compliment. You come off as much older. You come off as older than me. I'm 33, so you come off as way older than me. Actually, I feel like I'm younger than you.
I outlive everyone. All of my fellow creators. Yeah.
I know. I hope we outlive each other.
Not forgotten videos.
Exactly. Oh, perfect timing for that release. Oh god, it was great. Thank y'all for that. I did not expect that. Not expect that at all. Thank y'all so much for that. Okay. Anyway, all right. So we went into this really deep talk, didn't we?
Yes.
And I think there's just kind of the thing to come out of this, to get out of this, is just speaking on the human mind, and just like speaking on, the human condition, I guess you could say. And it's just, for me, it's just like, I will always look at it from a person to person. I always look at it by the character of somebody's character. And, we've had those instances where we've seen just such a deep lack of character, a deep lack of just like behavior and how things are handled. And this is going to be where I'm going to get into, this is where we're going to get into a specific quote. We're going to get into a specific topic, something that I was ranting about vehemently on Thursdays, Makini in the morning. And in that rant, I was Mads informed me that she wanted to talk more about this on the Sunday show, because this does this affects her as well, because this kind of this approach, and what we're talking about is kind of the thing that's been circulating all over the internet, all over social media, and that is Dove's video game campaign, Dove's Women in Gaming campaign. I have went into a long rant on how I personally, from my personal perspective, I despise everything about this. I despise it, and I despise it from a personal standpoint. So what I'm going to do is I'll show the Bounding in the Comics article, because surprisingly enough, the BIC article actually goes into further detail. It goes into way further detail, and even having there's a specific video that I want people to see as well. And the problem that I have personally from this is how it stems from it stems from a psychological point of view. It stems from a personal point of view, and it stems from a philosophical point of view. It stems from the fact that, it's what we were talking about earlier when it comes to being an individual and, wanting to be, how not just America, but how humans are naturally rebels. How we're naturally rebels, and we're naturally rebel against this. Is like, you can't tell us what to do. You can't tell us, not only tell us what to do, but this ad is basically trying to tell us what to think. And the ad I'm talking about is, of course, the Dove ad. So I am not sure how you want to go at this, Mads. Do you want me to read over the Bound Again to Comics article, or do you want us to play the trailer first? It's really is up to it's really is on you how you want to approach this.
I haven't seen the Bounding into Comics article yet.
Okay, do you want to go? You want to hit the article first?
I'm not sure. Maybe for context, do the video first and then the article.
All right. Will do. That is all right. That's wish granted then.
Just in case somebody might have missed it.
Okay, so let me go ahead and bring the article up. 1 second. Let me set up a new tab. Here we go. Okay, so this is the Dove article, and I'm going to share the audio as well. Okay, and let me see. We're going to go on YouTube because there's 2 specific videos that I want to cover. Ad.
Buy Bruce's soap.
Because this is the only soap any guy should be buying for themselves.
Okay, so are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? All right, let's do it.
See, that armor looks pretty good, actually. Armor is non-sexualized, protects well.
It defies physics.
Yep, good armor does that.
Not bad looking either. Okay. All right.
I want to be an action hero that wheezes on their way to victory.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I will say the tank.
Where do we begin, or where does Mads begin? If you want to, Mads wants to take the lead on this one. I've said my piece, and I have no problem saying it again. But Mads, before you get moving, before you get started on yours, let me make one disclaimer here. Let me make one disclaimer, and I'm going to make this clear and precise as everybody to hear this. If anybody, and I repeat, anyone who has the gall to come in here and say that me, nor Ryan, nor Bruce, we don't have a say on this because we're not women, we don't experience that. Let me say this in the nicest way possible. Fuck you. I have every single right to say my piece on this, because I have a huge fundamental problem with this generally. So anyone, and I repeat, anyone who wants to come in and say we don't have a say in this, that only Mads have a say in this, fuck you. Okay, Mads, proceed.
Did you want to cover the Bounding into Comics article too?
Yeah, we got another video as well we're going to cover as well. So that's just one of many issues that I have a huge personal issue with this. And like I said, guys, I implore everybody to go watch the Thursday morning Makini in the Morning video that I did talking about this subject, because this legitimately pissed me off. And I did 2 huge tweets explaining my specific issue with this. And I felt that it wasn't enough, so I had to dedicate an entire stream to do it. So if you guys can, please definitely check out the Thursday Makini in the Morning video that we did on this topic. So, all right. So this is from Bounding into Comics. The reason I'm bringing in the Bounding into Comics ad, because it seems that there's more... there's a lot more behind this that personally for me, I find kind of nefarious. That I still stand by, that Dove as a company are not standing by their own prints. They're not standing by their own convictions. They don't have a spine to stand by their own convictions. So, in the latest hop on the body positivity movement, Dove has launched a new ad campaign calling video game fans to reject the narrow definitions of beauty found in modern titles. The Unilever-owned line of hygiene products took a stand against overly sexualized women in video games on May 11th with the unraveling of a new commercial they called on players to eliminate stereotypes to build young players' self-esteem and body confidence. Fuck off. Sorry.
I'll touch on that afterwards. Keep going.
Okay. Share to the public via their Twitter account for advertising and marketing centric news. The Drum has developed a collaboration between Dove, Epic Games, Unreal Engine education team, Women in Games, which only has like 40 something followers on Twitter. Just sorry, I wanted to add that just as a little top on that. The ad in question opens with an established shot of a battleground littered with dragon bones. From there, Ice Age Beasts, yada, draws heavily from Battle Angel Alita, which clearly is bringing down Energy Blast. Yeah. It's okay. Attempting to own her look with a heroic pose, she soon gives up on the facade and proceeds to free her larger frame from the restrictive confines of her armor as well as wipe some makeup from her face. Now relaxed and comfortable, her break is soon interrupted by a set bell. However, therefore, returning her job, she takes a look at her reflection mirror, coming to terms with her own appearance. The heroine then proceeds to gear up and return to the set. This time, it stands her defensive gear. 74% of girls feel underrepresented in video games, the ad reads, citing a 2022 study conducted by Dove. So already, I don't believe you. The aforementioned Women in Games the Center research is apparently based on a simple survey whose methodology has not been publicly released. We partnered with Unreal Engine and Women in Games to change this. Yeah, see, you don't believe that. You don't believe that for a second. That already, this narrative falls apart. So, showing off the results of this partnership, the ad then replays the battle scene, only this time with Cynthia's original model, placed on a representative one, seeing the cross their arms to final victory. Let's make virtual beauty real. In a promotion provided to the Drum in promotion of the campaign, Dove Global VIP Leandro Barreto asserted, Dove believes that beauty should be a source of confidence, not anxiety, and aspects of life in both real and virtual. Okay, you already I'm going to get into this. Hang on. So me and Matt's going to get into this. So let's continue. Although the games industry has made significant strides to be more inclusive, progress needs to be accelerated to change the narrow definitions of beauty while still visible in the virtual world. No. See, this isn't. You don't care about. Okay, we're going to go into this again. You don't care about actual beauty standards. You don't care about actual self-esteem issues. You just want control. That's all you want. Together, without partners, we make real impact on the millions of women and girls who spend their free time playing games. You don't get to decide that for them. As per Virtual Reality Beauty website, the campaign's efforts to include not just above that, but also Roblox names sent on the school of kids with superpowers that's under the siege by a group of rogue students spreading negativity in a real beauty and games training program. Yeah, I can't tell you how strong. I don't know how Mads feels about this, but I am strongly against this. An online course designed to educate developers, creators, and artists about beauty and diversity in gaming. Fuck right off with that. Sorry. This is triggering a nerve with me again. Gamers want true to life diversity, even in the fantasy realm. No, they don't. Shh. Oh, Tough, you're so full of it.
Should we have a more neutral narration?
But there's work to be done on fewer representation in games where there's already has been, you numbnuts. Sorry. Especially when it comes to the aforementioned, when it comes to the creation of avatars, explain the campaign of its training program, featuring models developed in partnership with the Center of Appearance CAR and Self-Esteem Project. The industry experts course will help teach creators about unconscious bias to stages of avatar and character development, giving female players the opportunity to how to provide. Okay, you are. Hang on a second.
Good boob armor. I like it.
I need a quote here that summates my disdain for this.
How about no?
Only because I don't have the rock. Shut up, bitch. Unfortunately for Dub's latest attempt at virtue signaling, the research does not support the ideas of which their entire campaign is predicted upon, which they don't have a fucking spine to actually back. Per a 2022 study conducted by researchers Christopher J. Ferguson, who is perhaps best known for his work debunking similar claims of violent video games, of course, that's that old chestnut. James Drawer, Aaron Drummond, Julian Neer, and Aaron Lowe Calabria sexualization in games was neither related to well-being, body satisfaction, or sexism/misogyny. In fact, better designed studies that those that show less evidence for researcher expects on sexism, misogyny outcomes tend to find less evitable for their effects. Basically, I want to explain that Dove's little campaign is basically the entire thing that launched Anita Sarkeesian's career, by the way. Yeah. You remember women? Remember the whole tropes versus feminism series? Yeah, that's what this basically sounds like. It appears that commonly other realms of media events have evidence that that sexualized games influence paler attributes of behavior, which that is not true at all. Speaking of these findings, during a later interview with psychology-centric news outlet SciPost, Ferguson asserted, overall, the moral panic over video game sexualization is pretty much following the paint-by-numbers pattern of video game violence debate. Lots of hyperbole and moral outrage, but very little evidence that it's causing harm to either male or female players. That's where I have the problem. This is where I have the problem with. As purely public health issue, this doesn't appear much of a concern at all. For example, this doesn't mean that people can't advocate for better representation of females because they are already doing that, and they're doing that right now. They just need to be cautious that claims of harm that can be easily debunked. Yeah, this is all based on claims that are easily debunked and basically lies. Calling into question what further wise. That's why I don't believe this whatsoever. You know, we've seen, and I'm glad they're showing examples of Katsuragi from Senran Kagura. They're showing of course, they also bring up a similar comment with Bayonetta. We've seen this all the time, every freaking time. Every freaking time this brings up, every time they bring up this talking point, it gets debunked. It falls apart immediately. Because you don't speak for women. You don't speak for young girls in games, period. You don't speak for all of them. And you don't get to decide their you don't get to decide their self-esteem, how they feel when they see that. Do you?
You know what I love right now?
Okay.
You know what I really love right now?
What?
I love the financial chokehold everybody's watching as the common man is strangling the shit out of Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch.
Oh yeah, because this
wait for that to happen all around.
This debacle this debacle, Bruce, is that it happened at the same time we had the whole Miller Lite ad as well, and look how that's turning out. Okay,
I think it's great.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna. So I probably got a bunch more to get in on this because I guess I didn't extravagate my point enough, but I'm gonna let the lady of the hour speak on this one. So Mads.
Okay, before I do that,
this is your field. Take it away. Say it again.
Sweetheart, can you put the headset on? Because this is going to get colorful.
Yeah, if you got little children in the room, this is grown folks talking around here. So you may want to get them to lead the room. I'm gonna give you guys about 30 seconds to get all the little kids get out of here.
Yeah, Mom's gonna weigh in on that dove ad.
First Amendment right. You don't get to have an opinion on something. That's their declaration, okay? And therefore, you don't have to give a shit what they say. So go ahead and discuss how you
15
feel.
15 seconds.
Your opinion weighs the same as theirs.
15 seconds. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mads.
Okay, I'm going to start off with this. When they started this whole, body positivity,
I'm gonna have something pleasant on the screen while in the meantime while Mads is talking. Sorry. Go ahead,
yourself. No, when they started this whole body positivity, everyone should feel beautiful in their own skin thing, I was 100% behind it.
Right, I got it too.
I know that itself received a lot of heat, and it still fucking does. Because I have seen it so many damn times. People post, like, there was a video of this woman that who is complaining that she has a hard time finding towels that fit around her, and people were tearing a strip out of her for it. You know what? That is a real fucking thing. You shouldn't have. People have a right to actually have clothes and stuff that actually fit and they feel comfortable in.
Right.
And this whole thing with them and the 74% of girls don't feel represented. Bitch, I was one of the ones that played the Mortal Kombat game originally. I started off with Mortal Kombat Primal Rage. I did play some Street Fighter. It wasn't really my thing. That's more of Maki's thing. I am the one that was doing the gaming way back in the 90s. I played the Atari systems. Don't come at me with this false number of girls feel underrepresented. We always felt, those of us who played did feel represented. We didn't give a rat's ass on the size of the character or how the fuck they look. Because some of the games, even way back then, you could actually customize the characters. And Champions of Nora, that was actually one of my favorite features about that. That you can make your character as muscular or as skinny as you wanted. Customize the hair, the look, even whether you had tattoos or not.
Is there anything else? I feel like you feel like there's
gotta
be. Or are you just kind of collecting your thoughts? I'm just
collecting my thoughts. Because what was that one that they?
She's not in chapter 1 yet. Hold on.
Oh, this is only chapter 1. Okay, gotcha. I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Just what did that pause? I was like, is there anything more? Because I feel like there's got to be more here.
Oh, there is more. Well, what was that one that I said I'd get back to?
Okay. So there's another video on this. I'm gonna give me 1 second. I'm gonna look for that video because this one definitely also drove me up a wall. And just like I said, sorry. Where is it? Listen, I am not. Listen, before we show this video, I'm gonna make another disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say this again. This is not going to be an attack on the women in this video.
No, not at all.
This is not an attack
on
the women
earning
in
a
this
paycheck.
Video. They're doing a paycheck. They have no idea. But this is an attack on Dove because this is a mindset that I have had that. Okay, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, listen carefully.
Okay.
A lot of people say that they have a different fight in this. I guess you want to call it a culture war or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. This is my fight. This is the hill that I'm willing to die on.
Oh.
This is the hill I'm willing to die on. It's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. This is the very reason why I started a YouTube channel, why I wanted to speak my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I will not. This is why I'm so strongly against this, and this thing keeps popping up every time. It popped up through GG. It popped up through. It popped up through the whole election and such like that. It popped up through. It pops up every time, and every time it gets debunked. It pops up because I've seen people get attacked for this. I've seen people get stuff for what they've drawn. I've seen people get attacked for that. And this still goes on. It still goes on. And I stand, and this is why I take a personal stance behind this. It's like, no, you're not going to dictate. And this is also a stance on individuality as well. It's like, you speak for yourself. You represent yourself. You don't let other people represent you. Because they don't have those, not just they don't have those lived experiences, but they also don't have the mindset that you do. They're different. We're different for a reason. That's how God made us.
These people don't exist, though, in objective reality. They don't stand by the truth. They stand by the land of lies. They don't believe in physical reality. They believe in the reality of their mind. Mental beings, so to speak. And that's why these people are insane. And they should be treated as such. And they manipulate people. And as the author Stephen Walton would say, narcissistic demon.
You're right. But what I want to say is that, and I want to let Mads speak her piece on this. And I'm going to speak my personal piece on this because this did affect me personally. I went into this on Thursday, and I'm happy to speak this again. But the fact that, and also the thing, and also why this affected me personally, is because what happened on the birthday stream hit me real hard. What happened? We had Maria Tiantelli on, and she said something that hit me personally. That had to make me realize what I was doing the entire time. Not in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it made me realize what I'm doing here personally and why I believe that people are going to remember you. You're never going to be forgotten because of how you affected them. But we'll get into that. But first, I want to share this horrible trailer. And and like I said, I'm going to say this one more time to YouTube, to everybody involved, to every person involved. This is not an attack on the women involved in this video. This is an attack on Dove itself. I am going after the company itself. I'm going after this absolutely horrid mindset. Are we clear? Are we crystal clear? Yep. Are we clear? Okay. Play the video.
Había dos personajes, mujeres, nada más. Los dos eran dos personajes súper sexualizados. Y nada, eran las dos opciones que tenía para elegir.
Oh, I need to share that. Hang on, hold on 1 second. I gotta pause this because there's subtitles here. There's subtitles here. Let me switch over to that work. Okay, let me play that again.
Perfect.
Había dos personajes, mujeres, nada más. Los dos eran dos personajes súper sexualizados. Y nada, eran las dos opciones que tenía para elegir.
You were not there. You don't exist. The things are not made for you.
I don't look like that. Not everyone looks like that.
We should really show everybody that who we really are as people, and we should all have a chance.
A character that looks like me in a video game and be like, yo, this baby's fire.
What character creations are for? That's what I'm gonna say.
There are thousands of skins available to choose from. But finally, One that looks like mine.
Oh, I look so badass.
It's not only about self-esteem, it's about what you can or cannot do with your life.
Ay, no, forget that.
We are different.
It's beautiful. I think it's a dream.
Is there anything more powerful than being a legend? Yes, being real. We are unique, beautiful, and brave, and that we should be able to play the game.
All right. Okay.
I want to make fun of wheelchairs in gaming because that's just what I fucking do.
Oh.
Okay. Well, Mads, you want to go first? I think you need to continue on what you're saying. I think you need to continue because I'm gonna go off on this one as well. But you go ahead first. So let me say this one more time because I cannot stress this out. This is not attack on the people, the 4 women involved. Can I please say that? Am I clear?
No, big shout out to the women who did that. I mean, if they had led with that commercial alone, would have been a completely different story.
Well, the way
it would have been a different story as opposed to, pulling this narrative that women don't feel represented, more of going with the lines of we created these characters with this whatever.
This
would have been different.
It would have been just.
It would have been cringe, but it wouldn't have had.
Also, let me say this.
Yeah.
The story, that post, that billboard that she was jumping out of, that was a slight at GTA 5. Did anybody notice that?
I mean, I'm not a GTA, person.
Yeah, that was GTA 5.
That whole game thing always throws me for a loop because around here, GTA is Greater Toronto area, so it always throws me for a friggin' loop every time I hear people talk about it.
But yeah, that's supposed to be a slight, and I would have saw that as just cringe. It would have just been like it's cringy, but I see what they're going for. That's fine. It's not it's you take it, you just laugh, and you take it, you make fun of it, you move on. That's fine.
And I am.
That's not what they did they?
But what Grumpy has a really good point here with
highlight it.
Sorry, but no. Shout out to those women because they are espousing what they are espousing is not factual. They're not pretending it's factual. That's stating their feelings.
They're not pretending it. No,
and their feelings are valid.
But the problem is what the company is spouting is supposed to be factual when damn well it's not.
Go
ahead.
I know from personal experience it's not. I've always been overweight.
Right.
But
I'm just going to lay that out.
You're never going to be an ectomorph. That's acceptable. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you saw yourself needed to change, you would probably do it. You would probably not just give up and roll over and let yourself be that lady that has to get craned out of a house. You would probably, if your doctor's like, hey, listen, we're in danger zone territory right now, you'd probably go back to memes his whole year he did where he was showing you the Saitama workout.
Yeah.
And he would probably like be one of your guiding coaches because you could do that without a fucking gym membership. And you can do that, and you would try. You would probably make some headway on it too. You'd get your face busted in. You'd find out what exhaustion really feels like. But I'm thinking that you, like a lot of other people I know, once they put their mind to it, there's no stopping them.
Yeah, and here's the thing that I learned from Melanie Mack this week was that from some of the videos she was bringing up, especially when she brought up the dub, when she was bringing up talking about this very commercial, was that one of the things is that you exercise, you don't just exercise to to be healthy and such like that, but you exercise because you end up feeling good. You do it because it feels good to you. Like I did 10 minutes of exercise last night before I went to bed, and I end up feeling good out of it. You just do it as a. So now it's just like that's why I go out on my walks. Is I do it because it lets me. I end up feeling good at the end. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. One of the things, I definitely wanted to come back to was the fact that they said about how these characters that are traditionally in games are harmful to the self-esteem of women. Fuck that. Honestly, what I've noticed, being more harmful to women is them putting out these images like I'm Not Starfire, like Trailblazer, and I'm sorry, even the one they did here, where people are going to focus solely 100% on the size of that character and not the lack of quality or content or the underperforming content that is surrounding it. And these people are just going to turn around like, what was you were even on a stream when I'm Not Starfire came out, and you guys were reading it out, and somebody was reading out the Mandy thing with a troll like voice.
And my problem, and I'll just peer off just for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
My ultimate problem with the specific book with I Am Not Starfire wasn't because of the design of Mandy. The design of Mandy is it is alarming to think like that, because it's like, okay, you have this beautiful character, beautiful Tamaranian like Starfire, have a child that frumpy. It just didn't make any sense to me. But my biggest issue with that book is that Mandy just comes off as downright hateful. It is incredibly hateful. It really is.
The writing is trash. The story is trash.
Hateful. And I'm like, I'm supposed to sympathize with you? Like, I'm supposed to sympathize with you when you're acting this way to your own mother?
That stuff is 100% the visual equivalent of clickbait. It is that red herring that is put out there so people can focus solely on the size of the character and pick that off and completely ignore the rest of the fact that it's shit.
And
okay, the headphones aren't blocking anything.
You might want to move to the other room then, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, you might want to keep those headphones on, Little Bear.
I love Rudy Ray Moore. That's all I'm going to say.
But what I'm saying is, that's what we're kind of seeing here, right, Max? Is that basically kind of what you're saying? You're kind of seeing the same thing, right? Wrong? Am I gonna?
No.
I despise this.
It's the same damn thing over and over again, and you know what? It's got to fucking stop.
It has to stop.
I'm so tired of these people running around saying that, these people really don't look like that. I have been hearing that since the 90s.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry if you cannot fill out a top like
Ryan, you may want
to on screen.
Ryan, you may want to step back for this.
Some of us actually can.
Well, I will say, though, just to make you're dealing with a force that wants to destroy your civilization. They're never going to stop. They're going to keep pushing this mantra until everyone submits or runs away. And that's why they keep on going, and they've kept on growing. That's why the madness, especially in the United States, has just gotten weirder and weirder and madder and
Because,
madder because they want everyone to change. Doesn't matter how old or young they are. Doesn't matter how big or small they are. And, well, you got to take a stand. That's why I think this alliance of alternatives should take a stand against.
But the thing is, Ryan, is that you do make a good point, because what you're seeing here is, we can, it's like, you want us to accept these specific character body types, and the problem is we already do. You're partnering up with an engine that has one of the biggest games in the world, Fortnite. Fortnite is known for hundreds upon thousands of skins over the years, of different body types, of different character designs. There's a skin for everyone in Fortnite, even for me, who likes something that is more on the cake side, something that is much more on the top heavy side. There's still a skin for me. There's still Penny. There's still skins like that. I will rant till the cows come home on how most of the female skins in Fortnite are too damn afraid to put to go beyond an A cup, let alone a B cup.
Well, Fortnite disproves their theory.
But there's still plenty of skins there's still a skin for that. If you like cute characters, if you like having your characters have a more cute side with a more petite frame, there's one for that. There's much more chubby looking. That's fine for that. It's a skin for everything. And why I will praise Fortnite, and why I praise, and that's kind of where I praise Fortnite, is because they're able to appeal. They somehow found a way to appeal to everyone. They somehow did it. They made it work.
He started off with the 9-year-olds and then worked their way up to everyone else.
Yeah, and then it's just like subtly, and it's just like every once in a while, you complain. It's like, oh, some of these skins might not be thick enough or something like that. It's like, no, they're there. You just have to wait. You have to be patient, because sometimes they'll slip in those skins there. They know what they're doing, and I'm totally fine with that. But anyway, Matt.
Did Mads, you there?
Okay, Bruce. Bruce, go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to talk about this.
Bruce, please, just be somewhat respectful here, and not be in a way that gets my channel taken down or gets flagged.
You got to find what works for you. I'm a plumber, okay, and I use this stuff religiously. This is the best soap I've ever had. These bars of soap last me 3 weeks to 5 weeks.
Right.
They're a 10-inch bar, and I need soap that actually works. I've used Dove soap before. It'll be done in 3 days. It is absolute shit tier, like failure F tier soap that doesn't suds up right, doesn't take shit off your skin, doesn't do the job, leaves you smelling like your work. So you have to stay in the shower for an extra long time to try to scrub yourself scentsy or nice, So I don't use crap. I work with it, but I don't like bringing it home with me. All Dove has done is make sure that I will never buy anything in their library or extended library or under their corporate banner as much as I can. I've gone to the
Unilever is everywhere. Bruce. Unilever, who have Dove under their arsenal. I think it's a British-based.
It's a British-based. It's everywhere. Yeah. Oh, I see.
Their products are literally everywhere.
Yeah, it's probably a mega corporation.
All of my soap, all of my hygiene is under this brand right here. It's American-made soap, made in the same factory that they made soap for the GIs back in the Korean War. Okay. This stuff is healthy for you. It'll stay there for 3 weeks at least. I've had this stuff deliver me from the land of like crappy soap. And I've used Sasquatch, I've used other big soap brands.
Dr. Sasquatch is what I use.
This completely obliterates it.
And
it's cheaper.
Right.
But I appreciate what Squatch tries. I just don't like their results.
Okay, that's fair.
They're C tier. They're all right. They're average.
Okay,
they're kind of like they're better than Irish Spring, but not better than Duke Cannon. But I'm gonna stay away from anything Unilever or anything like that because I don't want that company, that corporate mindset. I don't want that Bolshevik cultural termite to get into my wallet. I hate Bolsheviks. I can't stand the thought process behind this bullshit that we are stuck in since 2016. And it's gotten to the point where I don't even have civility anymore. I don't care. If you like it, that's great. I'm going to try to run you over because you're a pile of shit supporting the company that wants to promote this garbage. I absolutely believe. Yeah, I don't eat Klondike bars. I don't get into that. That's S tier. That's S tier for stupid people. Or the best ice cream we've got down here is made locally. I use that.
Yeah, it's called
Everything
Bluebell.
I try to go local.
It's called Bluebell. Sorry.
Bluebell's amazing.
You can't beat Bluebell. Everybody's talking about no. You know, you have not ice cream. You have not eaten ice cream until you tasted Bluebell. You've not tasted it.
It's Chapman's up here, largely because of their how they treat their employees.
Hey, listen, look here, listen, man. We can go into this debate the entire rest of the day, but Bluebell's gonna top out. So in the discussion, sorry.
No, Chapman's is the brand for Canadians.
Okay, all right.
Because like some years back, about a decade or so, actually probably about 2 decades, their plant completely burned down, and they still paid all of their employees the entire time while it was being rebuilt.
Damn, that's shit. That's you got workers for life there, man.
Mm-hmm. That's not just workers. You have customers for life when that came out.
You can't knock that. I can't knock that. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
And soap-wise, I don't do Dove either. That shit irritates this out of my skin.
It's your skin.
For me it's damn it. The Body Shop.
Body Shop. Okay.
I love their soaps, especially their body washes. The Satsuma is what gets my day started every day. I love the friggin' scent of it.
Okay. Is there anything more? I feel like is that all?
There's probably more, but it's we have completely sidetracked and my brain is going elsewhere.
Okay. Ryan, our guest of honor, your thoughts on all this. You go ahead. You go for it.
Well, Bruce should start a soap channel, folks.
Bruce should just have he should have an infomercial channel in general. You should see him go off. You should see him go about his coffee.
We've been trying to get him to rant about ordering pizza, but I think that's long gone. I think it's too late. I think there's no way that's going to happen.
Well, I think this entire example with Dove is a symptom of a much larger problem that we all managed to solve in our own way, one creator at a time. And we, with all of our different perspectives, I think we will triumph. It's the triumph of the individual, Makini. That's what we need now more than ever. And yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything more said that I've already said on Thursday. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything I need to say more, because I feel like I've said my piece on a lot of this, because this really did bug the hell out of me. But it's the same debate. It's the same debate that I see time and time again. And it's the debate that keeps cranking up, and it's like the whole over-sexualization. I am strongly against this. I am strongly against this, and I will continue to be strongly against this. And why I say this is the hill I'm willing to die on is because this over-sexualization thing has had an effect on me personally. It hasn't had an effect on my self-esteem. It hasn't had an effect on my work. You know? I don't This is why personally I'm strongly against this. Why you see the work that I do, and yeah, you can joke about it all you want, but in general, one thing that cannot be denied is that you have a strong stance against that. This is my fight. You clearly understand that why I take a personal fight to this, and I will stand my ground behind this, because this is something that has an effect on me. Something that has affected me. That's something that this demonization on femininity, on having attractive characters and attractive female characters and such like that. Like, I was heavily inspired by artists who do this kind of stuff. I was heavily inspired by that. I want to achieve that.
And what was the gender of the artist you were inspired by?
A woman.
Thank you.
Let me put her work up. I'm gonna put her work up just real quick.
Yep.
Let me show this thing. All right, I'm gonna show you just a little sample. Where is it? I have said it. Her name is I've dropped her name multiple times before, but her name is Danden Fuga, Japanese artist, and she has been I've been supporting her work for years, her Patreon for years, and she has been basically one of my reasons that I wanted to start doing digital art. So, then that's kind of the goal set that I'm trying to aim for. But this is all her work. And I loved every bit of it, that I've gotten inspired by that. So she is one of my inspirations. And I hope that I could be able to even possess half the talent to be able to pull something like this off someday. So that's a goal.
Sure,
to me, that's a goal. This is stuff like being able to pull off like this, details like this is a goal for me. That's what I want to achieve, So that's why I have a big dog in this fight, because artists like her have inspired me to do that. Inspired me not only to do that, but inspired me to be confident and be more confident in myself, have that self-esteem in my own, and me feel comfortable about it. I've always felt like I've been demonized because I like this kind of stuff, because I'm into this kind of stuff. I've had such a huge problem with this, because this freaking stigma that guys who are into this are pigs. That you don't have nothing to attribute to society because you're into this kind of stuff, because you like this kind of, because you like fan service, because you like the over-sexualization, because you like all this kind of shit. That you're not a contributing member of society. You're a pig. That you don't know how to talk to a real woman. Motherfucker, I have a fucking woman on my podcast every Sunday. For 2 years straight.
Not even just that you have a woman. Your channel is, 64% female, if I remember correctly. You telling me the number?
It was like 50. I think it's like 40. It's like 43, 40. My demographic is like 30-something% female, 70% male.
I thought yours was higher.
Or a little bit higher.
I know my channel is more male than female, significantly more male than female. And if I remember correctly, yours was the opposite. And I always found that funny.
But there's a lot more guys in my chat. However, it doesn't change the fact that
women love your work.
I see. You saw it early in the chat, Ryan. We have a lot. You saw plenty of girls in the chat, plenty of women in my chat at the start of the stream.
More than most.
I've teased the heck out of him for years that he's a MILF magnet.
But it's more than that. That should be disappointing. But it's more than that. And this is why I take a personal stance to this. Why I am very angry about this. Because I have had, coming from my self-esteem issues, coming from how I was growing up, I wasn't like this.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from how I was growing up, come from how I approached girls growing up, I have a different mindset. It's from how I was seeing how I was growing up and such like that. Yes, and Power makes a great point. Power makes an excellent point. There's a lot of stuff, like the stuff in the with not safe for work art and fan service.
I like that.
Guess what? A lot of women did start with that. It started with a lot of women on that. So, it's you've given me a lot of that. I've been inspired by it. I legitimately see inspiration in that. I legitimately see that. That's why I love doing this, is just because. I remember an old friend telling me that I have a legitimate appreciation for the female form. Hence why I do it so much, because you legitimately, I don't do this because I'm horny or anything. I do this because I'm legitimately inspired by it.
Grumpy also has a good one here too.
That's the thing. That's the thing that Dove wants. No, it's not. Okay, Ryan. You can argue that Dove is oblivious to the fact of what Grumpy is saying. I disagree. Dove knows
it's not incompetence.
They know
it's malice.
No, it's malice. They know that this
is not incompetence.
Is a blatant lie.
It is no. What they're saying is, like, almost directly saying that the two things cannot be put together. That the overweight cannot be attractive, and that's what pisses me off, because I've drawn it myself. Many people have. You can actually, and I can go through my Pinterest right now and show off the myriad of sexy plus size women that I have saved for art references. Because they are not mutually exclusive.
It's just
good one.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell. You can tell.
Yeah, I can sense your frustration.
Yeah, it's hard for me to explain this because I legitimately am annoyed. It's not just what I'm pissed. I'm pissed off because I hate this mindset. Because I always felt like I was ashamed of this mindset. Seriously.
Turo here as well. He used to airbrush these type of women on t-shirts and cars in the 80s. The women and men loved them back then. Real people, not bots and activists that exist only to tell people to push agendas these days.
And that's the thing, Ryan. This is malice because they know that this is a lie. They just want to push it anyway. This is this. Yeah, you want everyone to conform. Let's be real here. Let's be real here. You want everybody to conform to this, to play only this body type. You are only allowed to have this body type. And what they're saying that they want to do with Roblox and what they're saying they want to do with all the Women in Games initiative, that's why you don't have the heart to stand behind it. That's why you don't have the spine to stand behind it and say, to stand behind what you're saying, because you know it's a lie. You know it's a blatant lie that is not going to go anywhere.
It's a publicity stunt, in a sense.
It is. It's virtue signaling in the highest order, and it's just and you're grateful, and it just makes me grateful that it's backfiring on them. That this is a lie that's going to backfire on them, even if they're able to get what they want to approach. It's not going to have that strong effect. Because the people who are seeing this as a lie, they're going to call this out for what it is. And this is something that happens every couple of years. They bring this topic back up. And it's like it falls apart. Your arguments fall apart every time.
That's why we gotta keep at it, folks. We've got to keep on going.
Continue to keep at it.
And to keep on growing, too.
Because this is a lie. Because are you actually helping girls with their self-esteem? No. Are you actually helping young players, people in general with their self-esteem? Are you actually doing that?
No.
So don't come to me and don't come to Mads talking about self-esteem.
Especially not when you start throwing in, that Roblox and all of that stuff, because that hits home.
Exactly.
Well, the problem that I
When, you,
really
when you're
have,
gonna start bringing this shit onto Roblox, because that's where my daughter plays.
the part that pisses me off the most is that Fortnite, you can only play one body type. The hitbox is the same.
It's the same.
It's all the same A cups. There's no dump trucks. It's
that's debatable. That's debatable. There are some. They sneakily put some in there. It's just they realize that they
you know damn well they would never put up something like what you draw or what I draw.
Despite the fact that this is more teen rated, despite the fact that there's probably a lot of characters like this in a teen rated game.
Mm-hmm.
Let them be exactly. But here's where this is where the self-esteem part comes in for me, because Ryan, let me tell you something. Decent person. I'm gonna call over sexualization fine. You want to call that fine? You want to call it fine? Harmful women? Bullshit. I've had women tell me that. I've had women tell me that my work has actually helped with their self-esteem.
But
you don't believe me? Everything. Ask Maria.
These people don't even know what a woman is, though, Makini. That's the whole point.
Well, they're not a biologist. Ain't that right, Shakara Jackson?
That is one that's a hot topic that I'm not sure it's safe to get into right at this point in time. And Maki, you should check the private chat.
Sorry. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, we'll wrap it up. No, but to just kind of put a bow on this, because I think this is probably going to be the last time I say something about this until they pull this ish again, and I'm going to have to say something about this again. And if anybody wants to come at me with this, you're more than welcome to.
Oh,
more than welcome to.
I love the fact that we're discussing. I love the fact that what you've got on screen while we're discussing this, because I will just top it off with this. Those are hills we are going to die on.
Those are hills we're going to motorboat on.
I really need...
Mads can back me up this because she's top heavy herself.
I had a Fly Girl figure in the 90s heroin chic era.
Yes. And it's clear that the industry, mainstream media, no matter what it is, they're afraid of tits. They're completely afraid of that. Because they see it as over sexualization.
And because there were women that were in that article that were front running this, and for women like that are running around saying this doesn't exist, I'm sorry to hear about the size of your tatas, sis.
And just because women there are large sources of women out there doesn't mean they're all sexualized either. Seriously.
Yeah, even if even the large-breasted ones, the large-breasted, the curvies, all of that, it does not give you free range to turn around and make them sexualized or to call them that, whether you are male or female. Exactly. They are still human. You should treat them right as such.
I'm speaking this from a personal angle because, I've had women tell me that. I've had women tell me personally that my work has made them feel better about themselves.
Absolutely.
Has made them feel confident about themselves. They love it. They love it because it's just like you're showing them. It's just like, it's not representation. It's just a self-esteem. Because you depict them in so many ways that they feel so happy seeing it, especially when it's of them. They feel special. I've had Maria, and you can go back to the birthday stream from 2 weeks ago Ryan. But I've had when Maria came on, she said specifically to me that she started working out recently. She started hiring a trainer and such because one of the reasons is because she wants to achieve the figure that she sees in the drawings I do.
Oh, that's quite an aspiration.
I did not know how to respond to that when the stream was up. But Bad's person to tell you, I did not know how to respond to that because that is such a compliment to have. I've never realized that my own work, my own vision, my own appreciation for stuff like this, my own appreciation for this has had that much of an impact on people, has been that much on an impact on people around me.
Well, that's the power of inspiration, Makini. And it's just the beginning for you. I can assure you of that.
Mads is a shining example because she will sing the praises till the cow come home on how much she loves I depict women that are that curvy. Women who are maybe aren't heavy but are curvy and still appreciate that. But it's a genuine appreciation for that.
And the fact that you actually encouraged me to draw my characters more exaggerated, more curvy, has actually been good for me. Because I was doing it with that very fashion art mindset because that was my heavy influence. But not only has it helped me as a person, it has actually also helped get attention towards my art and my channel as well.
If I could, I would hug you, Mads. I know you probably would right now.
Now that
actual hug. No,
that folk is great.
But
what the hell
comes
was that?
from that's a motorboat. No, but don't ignore Bruce.
Amazing boobs, and you put your face in them, and you just make the funniest sound you can with your lips.
Bruce, you're not helping. Please stop. No, but you can see why my channel is the way it is. Why I have so many. I guess you could say why I have so many women on. Not only why I do have women on my panel, but why I have women all over my channel, because that's my art, because that's my canvas, because that's how I express myself. That's how that's my fight in this whole culture war, if you want to call it, because it's just, I don't want to see a world where femininity is so demonized and so erased when it has had such a positive effect on so many women in this life and so many men as well. Not only just for women to feel better about themselves, but for men who appreciate that, who want that. It's a general thing that everybody wants to see things that are visually appealing to them. And that's what I want to appeal to, and that's what I want to aim for, is to create things that are visually appealing to them, that are visually appealing to me. And that people who think that, and that's the thing, it's just like, I just do what's visually appealing to me when I'm inspired by. But people who watch it, everybody in the chat, everybody on panel, all my lurkers, they appreciate that. They love that. They come back for that. And it's a genuine thing. So it's the reason why I am so strongly against, this stuff like the Dove commercial. And it's why we talk about individualism, because this is just control. You just want control.
We
need freedom. Regarding one mom. Yeah, thank you, Power. Thank you.
We need freedom.
Yeah,
freedom.
Just like it's just like you don't dictate art. You don't get to dictate what people draw. I don't want to live my life feeling have to be dictated by what I put on paper. What?
Sorry, you finish up.
Okay, sorry. We'll wrap it up. But yeah, that's just the general gist of it.
Yeah. No, when you dictate what other people say, you just take the tate out.
Yeah, but still, I don't want to feel like I'm being dictated by that. That's why I want everybody to stand and feel strong for them. It's still strong to be an individual in their own part, and that's why I think this ties individualism and having your own mindset and wanting to be able to speak, because you want everybody to have this. What Dove wants is that everybody in the industry, everybody who's picked up a video game, to have to select this body type. They have to. You're not giving them those are the only options you're allowed to have. Why? Because you think it's going to help other people feel represented? No, this is going to backfire. This is going to backfire because
Which is exactly what they want.
This is going to backfire because you're eliminating. Right, I know that, but this is backfiring because you're eliminating the general human aspect, which is the freedom to decide, the freedom of thought, the freedom to think. Not every little girl is going to think that way. Not every woman who has Down syndrome, or who's a paraplegic, or who's chubby, who's fat, not every woman playing video games of those archetypes is going to think like that. They feel represented with the characters they play. If they feel represented, how they feel is up how they feel. And I can say with confidence that in the replies that I saw, there was a lot of women who feel represented already by characters like Chun-Li. Characters like Sam.
Chun-Li ties.
They feel represented enough. They understand that video games is a form of escapism. They don't want to be reflected on the world that they are in right now. They want to escape to another world for a few minutes or an hour or an entire stream or whatever. They want to explore that other world. They want to live their fantasy. They want to live a power fantasy life. That's what character creators are. Games of character creation are such a more prominent now because it allows players to actually be able to create a version of themselves in game, or just a version of a character that they want to be. I play, like, for me, I'll cite Fortnite as one more example because most of the games, and Mads can attest to this, most of the games that I play mostly females.
Yeah, despite the fact we all call him Black Daddy Fortnite, you never see him playing a black male character.
No, let alone a male character. unless it's necessary. But
yeah, I don't know if you actually have a black male Fortnite skin.
Probably do. I'll probably have to check. It's probably covered up. But no, I play with most of the games that I play are. Most of the games that have a character creator, I go to the females first. I like playing as a female character. Mainly because generally, I know it can vary from game to game, but women generally have better customization options than males. And
honestly, it is more fun to draw females sometimes.
And it's visually appealing to me. And he's like, listen, if I got something, if I'm gonna have to look at the back of a character the entire time I'm playing, at least make it a nice back, okay? Nice ass, right?
Okay, Maki, wrapping up.
Yeah, let's wrap this up. So, Ryan, thank you everything for being here. Thank you for this freaking discussion we had earlier. That was
great.
Insane.
I wish I had more time, but I've got an episode.
Yeah, I know. That was like a very. That's
why I was trying to stay on them.
No, that was going into like a very philosophical discussion when you think about it. Very philosophical. I like that though. I appreciate that. So thank you.
I gotta keep my schedule free.
Exactly.
For future episods.
I know,
of the
right?
9th season.
All right. So, guys, everybody, send a big thank you to Ryan Roger Athay for being here on guest with us. It was a lot of fun. I'm gonna give Ryan a little standing ovation while while he plays his outro, while he says what is on. So Ryan, tell them where they can find you.
Well, folks, in 24 minutes, Reality-Based episode 77 will be live with me and special guest Christian Freites. He is a voice actor, so he knows how to do voices of all sorts of characters. And we'll be talking about his origins and happenings as a creator. You're all welcome to watch and to look. And always nice to speak your mind, though. And hopefully we will have a good hour or two talk, as it were. So that's my piece. Thank you all very much for watching.
Ryan, thank you so much. And guys, subscribe to Roger Athay on YouTube of Reality-Based. His channel is in the comments below. Thank you, man. All right, speaking of which, the next person up is Bruce Bar. Bruce, what you got for us?
Well, if you guys like to hear the occasional rant and you want to hear a pretty, I guess you'd say we're getting a little around now. We've been at this for over a year. Me and Janet are doing a stream tomorrow night with a friend of ours. We're going to host the Crafting Gamer on our channel.
Nice.
And discuss the Family Guy Star Wars trilogy.
Oh, that's going to be good.
And here in a little bit, I'll be running that on my Discord. But
that's gonna be fun.
We'll be watching that and discussing it tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's discussion, tonight's the viewing. And we're looking forward to this because he paid some money to get on. I mean, I guess I'm cheap. Oh, you want to talk with us for 2 hours? Pay money, and that's how it works. So
give me money, 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 give me money. Sorry.
Exactly, and he's been a regular viewer of ours for a while, and good friend of mine in the chats and other Discords that we frequent quite a bit. Thursday night, we are having Shadows Part 2 of his Traveler game. And then Saturday coming up, I'm running a live stream. And that will probably be a 10-hour endeavor for me. But on camera, it'll be about 9.5 hours. So that starts at 12:30 Central Standard Time. Come watch. And then I'll be back, surprisingly enough, next Sunday with Mads, MamaBear, and Makini as we do more artwork.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce. And speaking of which, man's last but not least, MamaBear, what you got?
This Saturday, I will be going a little early because I apologize to those who missed out. I did get a sad comment yesterday from having to skip this past yesterday's stream because I did get an invite to do a watch event. As part of among other things, to help fundraise for AFSP, which is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, which anyone who knows me, suicide prevention is a big thing for me.
Yeah, there's it's off topic. We saw Twitter was trending with Chuck, who is a player for the Baltimore Ravens. He I think what happened was that he sadly he took his own life over the weekend. So that was I totally understand that, and of course we've lost a lot of heroes and such like that. Of course, the biggest one, Jason David Frank, of course, passed away due to taking his own life. And it's guys, mental health is a serious thing.
This is Mental Health Awareness Month, actually. Also,
it is.
Well. And that particular stream is run by a veteran, so also means a lot to him as well.
Exactly.
There is apparently going to be a part 2 to that stream that was spontaneously decided yesterday. So I did talk to him about it. He is going to be starting it a little later. So I will be probably starting very early Saturday morning for those who catch, and anyone who doesn't, replay crew is always appreciated. Pay attention to my community tab because I'm probably going to put up a poll this week on whether I should wrap up Mermaid or work on a different character. And fan input, chat input is always appreciated. be on it. Catch me here next week. Same mock
right.
room, same mock channel.
All right. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Ryan. Okay, my turn. So I'll try to make this quick. Okay, so I know we're quest for time. So listen, guys, thank you all everybody for being here. If you guys have not seen, yesterday I just finished the next piece illustration in this month's art batches for my channel members. I'm gonna go ahead and put her up just real quick. I gotta make sure I gotta put the right variation up because I got some spicy ones there too. But if you guys have not seen this right here, this is Spider-Gwen. I just finished her yesterday. I'm very proud of this one. The time lapse for Spider-Gwen is on the way. That will be at they'll hopefully be by Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Oops, sorry. All right. Let me just show the regular piece.
That's for the very high tier subscribers.
That's for the ambassadors.
That looked very nice.
But yeah, Spider-Gwen as Cammy.
And that will not be the only one for the high tier subscribers.
No, there's multiple variations here, as you can see. So there's going to be different variations, but you guys are going to see that. This little sketch I did, I was trying to emulate the style of an artist. Do you guys want to see who that is?
Mm-hmm.
All right. His stuff is absolutely stunning. All right, let me share my screen. All right, his name is Kanliu, and this is some of his work, that's what I was trying to go for. Let me blow up some of his work here. So stuff like this, which is absolutely just stunning to look at. It's very fun, very fantasy-like. But I just wanted to try my hand at that after I was talking with Jinja Ninja earlier today after his show, and I thought I just wanted to just throw something out. He's an illustrator, a professional illustrator at Riot Games, so League of Legends and stuff like that. But I just wanted to share some of his work because that was what I was trying to aim for. So I thought it could be like a fun thing, kind of like that. So I like that. That's like, I look at it, it's like, goals. I look at it as like goals. So, but just wanted to share that. But Gwen is done. So, and for this one, what I might do is I might just go ahead and make this a reward for all tiers. I might just push this up on all tiers, let you guys have let all channel members have this one right here. Once I'm done, so hopefully I'll put some more time into it and just throw something out. I just wanted to test the waters with it. So, but anyway, but before we go, I do have one thing I do want to announce. There will not be a show next Sunday. There will not be a show next Sunday. I will be out on. I will be working on Sunday, and then but however, I will be off on Friday and Saturday, as well as Monday, Memorial Day. So there might be a Makini live. So my Makini live might move to a Saturday. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. We'll see how things go. So, but just stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you. Once again, special thank you to Roger Athay. Thank you to of course my co-hosts. You guys have been amazing. And thank you you all in the chat. You guys have been absolutely amazing. You guys have really kept this channel going. This chat has been off the hook this entire time, and I'm just so proud that I cannot keep up. As Wes Moody always says, we have the best chat on YouTube, hands down. Hands down. No contest, the best chat on YouTube. So I will see you guys tomorrow for Makini in the morning. That is my morning show, 7 a.m. PST, which will probably be 10 a.m. your guys' time. It'll be right after 0 hour on Loki's Mornings of Mischief. So just slide on over to Makini in the morning. We'll continue working on this piece right here for you guys as well. So anyway, that is it for me, Bruce Maz. Like I said, guys, share. First of all, step on that like button. Share the stream out. If you guys are brand new here, hit that subscribe button. We are working our way to 2K before the end of the summer. And if you guys are brand new here and you guys love the content, you guys want to see more of it, and you want to support me further, you guys can become a channel member for as low as $1 a month. You'll be getting access to exclusive art drops that I do each month for my members that you guys will not find anywhere else. And I appreciate every single member has joined and everybody who has joined and everybody who supported. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here, and I'm going to play the outro for it. So for myself, Bruce Lombardo, MamaBear, and our special guest, Roger Athay, I am Makini90, artist, journeyman, and illustrator, and we thank you for tuning in to the greatest Sunday afternoon art show on YouTube, Makini Live. Until next time, take care. Wait, hold on a second. No, hold on. Oh, son of a bitch. Can you guys entertain the chat just for a little bit more, because apparently something's wrong.
What do you mean something's wrong?
I forgot to upload the
Okay, so
I have 15 minutes, Makini.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay. It's okay. Hang on. It's at 30%. Just hang on, guys. We're just
Ryan. If you need to bounce, it is 100% understandable.
No, I did say that I'd be a little late. I'm staying for the course, folks.
Okay. I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry. I just forgot to upload something here, a very important component to the show here, and I don't want to end it with us just hitting the end button. And
Cavatango, if I could pull it up, I would, but
Ryan,
I
it's
have promised him I'm not touching it. Plus, I'm terrified of his video clips.
Okay, hang on a second. That is
hey, phrasing.
Ryan, it says 75%. Don't worry, we're almost there.
But just for the fact, because I
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry. We're almost done.
Okay, Boomer. Whatever you say, Boomer.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. I'll play it.
Okay. Boomer, yeah, Boomer. Whatever you say, Boomer. Okay. Boomer, yeah, Boomer. Whatever you say, Boomer.
She needs some meat. She needs to eat a cheeseburger or something. Do some squats. Sorry, there's not enough meat there. Almost there, guys. It's processing. Oh wait,
the Dwarven Queen is
Are
done.
You kidding me? I already uploaded? I just messed up this.
Okay. Boomer, yeah, Boomer. Whatever you say, Boomer.
Even Mock's terrified of his
Boomer, yeah, Boomer. Whatever you say, Boomer.
I realized I already had the outro uploaded. It just did.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
so let me say this one more time before I boomer it again. For myself, okay. Take that one time.
Never stop.
No, I know the audience is laughing right now. This is studio.
Never retreat. Never surrender.
Oh my god. Okay. For Matt's MamaBear, Bruce Lombardo. Shut up, Bruce. For Matt's MamaBear, Bruce Lombardo, our special guest, Roger Athay. I am Makini90, artist, journeyman, and illustrator, and we thank you for tuning in to the greatest Sunday afternoon art show on YouTube, Makini Live. Until next time, take care, much love, and as I always say, and say it with me, Ryan, never stop.
I don't know.
No, hang on. Say it
Never
with
stop.
me.
Never stop drawing.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Yes, accommodations for Makini Live are provided by Imperial Suite Hotels in Arcadia Village, right in the heart of Pacifica City. Yes to the show, fly Tuck and Roll Airlines. It's the official airline of Makini Live with over 300 destinations worldwide, including to and from the CSF Nation. Fly Tuck and Roll Airlines. Remember, you can't
can't SKOOL without a little tuck and roll. Makini Live is filmed before a live studio audience.
Makini Live is a Makini Draws production in association with Channel 9B Television and is distributed by CFS. Wait, oh no. Okay.
CSF Nation.
Yeah, CSF. God dang it, I'm reading it.